Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Shirt's a little loose today. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another live with Fox at Outdoors, aka Cliff, or the other way around, depending on how you want to read it. I feel like I'm super tall today for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Everything is weird. I also feel like my camera's like stupid close. There we go. Don't mind the mess, or if you do, well, it is what it is. And good evening, Daniel, Tiffany. Hope all is well over there. Good evening, Jason. Good evening, Molly. My fucking shirt is pissing me off. Good evening. Good morning, Rob. Hope you've had your coffee today. If not, well, go get your coffee. I've got this to open later. Got it on Wednesday or Thursday. I picked it up. I don't know. I forgot about Evening Ground Fog. How's it going? Get the smoke off of here, because I like to burn these so nobody can see the label for where my address is. Woo. Jason doing a coffee run. Figured as much. It's like we're starting off better this week than we did last week, which is a plus for me because last week was super slow. And it seems this week has been super slow for a lot of YouTubers as well. I don't know if it's just specific YouTubers or whatnot, but yeah, myself, Jason, and Colin have been kind of throttled back on outreach for some strange reason. But it seems everyone else is doing fairly decent. I don't know what's up with that. Is what it is. Such is life. Also, such is the life of a YouTuber. I'm not really a true YouTuber. I'm just more like YouTube hobbying this stuff because I'm not getting paid to do this. Don't have monetization. Don't have anything going for me other than just the random free videos and stuff about gardening. Yeah, I think YouTube is just throttling back. Don't know why, but it is. Ooh, man. I don't even know if I got the notification for that live or if I did. I was probably already asleep or half dead. Or it might have been at work. Because sometimes... No, I would have been... Yeah, I think I might have been asleep. Yeah, because your morning for... right now, it's nighttime for me, morning for you, but your afternoons is my nighttime. So I might have possibly been asleep at the time, so... That is unfortunate, Rob, that you had 0 viewers. Usually you get at least 1 or 2 randoms that pop in just to see what's going on, but to get 0, that hurts. That hurts quite a bit. Hurts more than sitting on a thumbtack. And yes, sitting on a thumbtack does hurt. Quite a bit. But it also depends on exactly where you sit on that thumbtack. Or I should say where the thumbtack penetrates. Because if you get it in the right spot on pants, you don't even get poked because there's enough material there that the thumbtack won't fit through there. Especially if you get it on like the corner seams of like pants, like on the pockets. There's like 3-4 spots on a pocket where if you get a thumbtack right there, you're not feeling the thumbtack because the material is just super thick. You have like 4 sections of fold over, and then the part that it's sewn to. If you get it in one of the cheeks or like right there in the center of the pocket, yeah, you're going to feel that because that's not enough material to stop it. You get a little bit of a poke. So yeah. And as some of y'all can see, I didn't do the top. As you can see where my hairline goes. It goes down like this. I can't even, there we go. My angling is on here is terrible. Oh, this is like really hard trying to do this upside down. Goes that way. My brain's like, I can't do it. There we go. When I'm staring at this thing, but yeah. I have a broad forehead, just not a deep forehead. Ah, camera, why? Why did you do that the second I did that? You butt plug. All right. Time to reset the camera 5 minutes into the live because camera wants to be funny. There we go. And looks like Jason is back with his coffee. Awesome Awesome. Went from 5 off the bat to 3 off the bat. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it is just mainly just due to the nature of today. Not going to say why, because particularly it does not pertain to me. So, yeah. I'm going to open it, but I'm not going to pull any of the contents out. Take a sniff of that new package smell, because you got to have that new package smell. Freshly opened new package smell. Yeah, nobody else is live right now, at least not that I'm seeing. Looks like Gary's going to be going live in about an hour. But that's all him. I'll be over here if he stops in before then. Awesome. If he doesn't, awesome either way. I'll still be here for 2.5 hours, give or take. Things that should not be titled the way they are titled. Ooh, that's an interesting one. But I forgot what I was actually doing. I was trying to find my page. So it never puts me up anywhere on here for YouTube. I always have to find myself. Hurry up so I can pop out my chat, you slow computer. Apparently I found out it's about 13 years old. I've had this damn computer for a long time. Nice. 5 mice so far. So it means you got that other one from the other night. Fat little bugger. Hopefully. Right? How tight can I trim my bush, or how far back can I trim my bush? Trimming your bush before spring. Things of that nature. My hair is all. It's also trimming your bush before winter. Oh, man. So many bush jokes. That's why they didn't let dogs in the White House during that time frame. Because they were always trying to chase quail and pee on bush. And that's my political ramblings for the night. Hope you enjoyed that ancient joke. And if you didn't enjoy that ancient joke, well, tough cookies. Speaking of tough cookies, damn you, camera, will you stop? I'm not even drunk yet. You're drunk. Do have actually one more beverage. I thought I drank all of my mics, but I have one more or two more in the fridge. I think one more. I believe it's the grape one. Damn you, computer, camera, stop. I don't want to deal with this tonight. I don't have the patience for this. Stop. In the name of focus. Focus. Hocus pocus, camera focus. Or should it be hocus focus, camera pocus? Yeah, there we go. Hocus focus, camera pocus. Well, anywho's, well, let's see. A little update for the greenhouse today. I was out there earlier. I have aphids everywhere. I can't get rid of the damn things. I do have apparently an abundance of instars, third phase instars. They are everywhere in the greenhouse. I can't see any of them, but I keep finding the empty shell casings for, I believe, between second and third stage. So I have those everywhere. I just, for some reason, have not seen them. Usually I see them walking around all the time, just roaming around on the plants, roaming around on the leaves. They'll be walking up the side of the greenhouse, on the containers. I'm not seeing any of them, which is weird because, again, I keep seeing the shed off from second to third stage, which is really funny because it's not like they don't have a supply of food. They have an abundance of freaking aphids to munch on. And yeah, I think I need to release like 1,000 of them into my greenhouse just to combat the aphid problem. Hopefully, they will take care of it. But I'm also hoping that the freeze that is supposed to be coming up in the next couple of days will take care of a lot of the other ones that I have sitting outside. Yeah, it's going to kind of mess up my plants, but to be dead honest, I can scrap every one of those plants and have them fully stocked by middle of spring. Like within a month or two, I can have them just as where I have them now. Most of those are green onions or bunching onions or even like the garlic chives. Those stupid things grow stupid fast. Ooh. Yes, keep me updated on that one. I definitely want to see how well that one's going to do this year. How many blooms do you have on that so far? My shirt does not want to stay where I want it to. This one's all loose. Let's see. Other than that, aside from the short that I put on Thursday or Wednesday, no, I think it was Thursday. I actually have more of the cherry peppers than initially viewed on the camera because I had a lot of it was blocked by foliage. God damn. So I have about 6 of them on there already, almost ready to harvest, and about like 4 or 5 more that are just going. I do have one really nice bell pepper, which is really good right now. I've got a couple more blooms. I just got to give it a little bit more fertilizer, and I think it'll take off. Well, that should be a nice, like 3-foot bush tree when I'm done with it. Same with my cherry peppers and some of my other ones. Nice. That's awesome, Jason. Hopefully you get a good amount on there this season. Do give it a crap ton of fertilizer. Pepper plants love fertilizer, apparently. There's a guy on YouTube, Pepper Guru, grows these absolutely massive pepper plants. Grace, good to see you. How's it going? How's the weather? How's life over there? Let's see. Other than that, jalapenos are going good. The citrus plants are kind of hit or miss. I mean, they're still growing. They're still doing what they need to do. I'm not going to get much off of them yet. Let's see. Aside from that, the rosemary experiment that I was working on, I know 100% one is doing real well. That's the one I showed you guys last week, the one that's in a glass jar. It has its companion. Also, whatever egg casing was on the second stalk has hatched, and they are wandering around inside the house somewhere. I don't know what the hell they are, but they're in here. Apparently, Jason is sending me dirty pictures again. Always with this guy. Always sending me dirty pics. Let's see. What is it? Come on. There we go. There we go. Oh, nice. Tomatoes are getting up there. They're almost to the third ring, which is super, super awesome. Those are good-sized pots. Yeah, those tomatoes really enjoy those pots. And then it looks like the peas are going crazy. You got corn in that too? Corn in there with the peas? Or are those just random grasses? People be sending me stuff all the time. Random gladioluses. Interesting. Gotta have some horde-ass AI. Any slamps. Slamps. Well, we'll see if she pops on. If she pops on, we'll say something. If she doesn't pop on, well, I can't do anything about it. Because sandwich clams. Yeah, I've got, for some reason, I still have, I'm noticing more and more have popped up. I planted bulbs in a planter. I keep planting them in there. They just, it's the same set of bulbs. They just don't want to do anything. I just stopped dealing with them, and I haven't bothered with them. I just stuck them in the container. I moved the container, and I just leave it there in the damn sun. And they're starting to pop up. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if they're daylilies. I don't know if they're freaking orange stars. I don't remember what the heck the plant was that I originally planted the bulb for. Like, I've long since lost the sticker that had the plant name on it. I wrote another one on there. That one long since disappeared. I have no idea what the hell plant is. And there's like 9 of them popping up. Well, at the moment, there's like 5 or 6. But I like planting in grid patterns. So I do top to bottom, side to side, basically north, south, east, west, and then I plant in between the corresponding halfways, and then I usually plant like 3 to 4 in the middle. It's a weird way to do it. Sometimes I'll do one dead center, and then I'll put like 5 around it. That's how I plant certain things sometimes when I'm bored. But yeah, I've 100% forgot what the hell plant this was. Like, I gotta wait till the damn thing's like 3-4 inches tall to figure out what it is. Right now, the leaves are coming out thick. Like, they are fat leaves. Like, thick, fat, green. They're kind of pointed, curled. So, like a rounded teardrop, I guess, or like a folded dog ear. Yeah, folded dog ear would be not folded this way, but folded like this. So, again, for the life of me, I can't remember what plant it was. Might have been daylilies, to be honest. Because I've had bulbs from random plants that I keep trying to plant, and sometimes I don't do anything. Sometimes you just set it and forget it, and that seems to be the way a lot of plants like it, or certain plants. I'm terrible with bulbs. Terrible with bulbs. I think my problem is I water them too much. No, they're definitely not cannas. The cannas, when they sprout, they're like curled, like if you roll a tortilla, they come out like that, like a rolled tortilla, and they stick straight up out of the ground. And then once they get about 3-4 inches, they start to unravel. So I know it's definitely not those. And I only have those ones I've got in specific planters, unless I'm putting them for people, and then I'll put them in another planter if I'll like wanted to propagate them. But them stupid things, they propagate fast, like stupid fast. You can put one rhizome in a small container, and by the end of the season, there'll be like 6 or 8 rhizomes in that container. So if I wanted to, I could technically sell Cana rhizomes. Oh, it's definitely not corn. Not that particular plant. It's a bulb style plant. I know that for sure. Because I've moved that planter around. I have not put anything in that planter for like 2 years because I know I keep planting bulbs in there. And eventually I figure one of them is going to pop up. But yeah, I've got like an inch and a half of mulch on top of them. And I'm just like leaving them there. They get whatever get for water. And I think I water them like once every month, maybe twice a month. It's like every 14 days I give them a little bit of water, but most of the time they just kind of sit out there in the sun just soaking it up. So we'll see. And I definitely know. Actually, I have 3 corns growing out there, and they are getting fat quick. What really got me was when I did the corn, I redid the corn, I added some, oh, you know what? I forgot to add the soil. That was my problem. I forgot to add like 3 inches of dirt on top of the stuff that I had in there. And then I just threw the mulch down. I put like 9 sets of beans in there. 3, 4, 6. Yeah, I think like 6 or 8 beans. None of them popped up. I put 2 melon seeds in the dead center of that planting plot, I guess, is if you really want to go that way, they're planting plots. Any sort of bucket container is a planting plot. But I digress. I put 2 seeds of melons in there. Here's the funny part. I have no idea what melon it is. It's not watermelon, that's for sure. I don't know if it's going to be a squash, pumpkin squash, acorn squash. I don't know if it's going to be that weird mystery melon that I grew last year and have tons of seeds for, and half of them I don't even know if they're going to work or not. But none of my beans popped up. Those usually pop up within like 3 to 4 days. They'll be sticking out of the ground. Not a single one. So I think I'm just going to have to re-sow beans in there and hope for the best. And I know for a fact that watering that pot's going to be a pain in the butt in about 2-3 weeks because the squash that's in there is going to start taking over. I will have to snip one of them because I do not want to overcrowd the pot. I only need one plant in there to do everything. Hey, Cece, how's it going? Good to see you tonight. I did ate the rest of my Flamin' Hot barbecue chips, but I also had a quesadilla burger at work before I came home, so also have the other half still sitting in my fridge, so I can at least eat that if when I get hungry, but I also do got a couple more bags of snacks. Hey, there's Colin. Good to see you. I'm almost out of these, and I just got them like 2 days ago. I am horrible with these damn things. I will eat these until my jaw hurts. I've also got what's left in my cheese puffs, which I transferred into this container, which did at one point house all of my Chex Mix snack mix. And also have, this is going to be a shock for all of those who know me as a fat boy snacker. I've got Triscuits, something healthy, sort of. I like the garlic ones, and I like these ones. I like the garden herbs. I don't like the other ones. They taste funny. These ones, the garden herb, also really taste good if you're doing any of the, like, Totino's dips. The ranch dip, personally, is really good with this, or the sour cream dip is really good. Ate my other one, so, yeah. Other than that, I got flaming hot everything. And my sinuses are going to be really stupid now all of a sudden. So I'll be dealing with that. I got all kinds of snacks, but I'm good to go on those. All right, I think we got enough people in here. Hopefully everyone's watching. So we're going to do this. This is this month's packaging. It's really annoying that I used to get these on the 7th, and then it was like the 11th, and yeah, I got this on like Wednesday or Thursday. Kind of irritating. So already opened it. Took a whiff of the new package smell earlier just to have fun with it. Let's drop the camera down a little bit. We have the usual subscription card description. We have another oral hygiene card. I think one of them was like how to make toothpaste in the field. And looks like this one tells you how to make fire from a light bulb. Works great if you can actually get the light bulb off without destroying the filaments. And these are a one-time shot because once that filament hits air and there's electric current through them, they burn out fast. Looks like we have the mini first aid dog tag ones again. So 2 sutures, 2 curved suture needles, and the files/tweezer combo. And as always, the little serrated bit on the bottom. Evening drops. And then once again, I've got another one of these. So this is my second or third one of these. This one is I think this is I actually have no idea who the hell this one is. I don't know that signature. This one's a good multi-use one. You've got 2 different styles of lures. You got a pick spinner lure. So you've got the big one my fat finger's on. You've got this little guy up in the corner, which is not 100% a triangle. It's an offset triangle. So that one would work really interesting. You've got your little hooks. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to find a neutral spot for this thing. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. Got your standard saw, which, ooh, that knife I do not like already because of the serrations on the back. You try to put any leverage on that front end, you're going to tear up your fingers. So this serration on here was an absolutely terrible idea by whoever the hell that was. You can't put no pressure on the front end of this to use that edge for any sort of cutting because that serration will destroy your fingers. The hooks, pretty good. But again, with the hooks, you got to have something to hook to connect the hook to your lure connector or your spinner, however the heck you want to use that. But you do got these nice little fishing spears, one large, one small. And then, as always, the bottom one here, more useful than just about any other saw you can get for a lot of these because at least that's the bigger version. And then on each side where I'm holding it, you can see the cutouts. That's basically your line wrap for various items. But, yep. Oh, I did notice this one actually has, I didn't notice this before, that actually has a tick remover. Little notch on the side. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, that is really awkward on, there we go. So that actually has a tick remover on there. So that's actually a pretty decent add-on for the, for the first aid dog tag. Partial first aid dog tag, but would work nonetheless, honestly. And that does technically kind of have a bit of an edge for the, whatchamacallit, the tick remover. So that would probably either slice or get on her. Yeah, a lot of them you don't have a tick remover. A lot of them you'll have it in like a random item like this, or it'll be in like the head of one of these. I've got a couple of them for the tick removers. Oh, Biko Wright signature card. Okay, I don't know who the heck Biko Wright is. But yeah, the serrations on the top spot where you would stick where the jimping is at, where you would put leverage for your thumb or whatnot. Horrible idea. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to sound like a keyboard warrior on that one, but if you've got a knife that small, you're going to need leverage where you need it, and having that jimping or that sawback right there is not going to be healthy for your fingers, like at all, in the like remotest sense of usefulness. And again, yes, I know I sound like a keyboard warrior. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't really have an... Oh, wow. I didn't even get my usual look. It's completely empty. I didn't even get my foamy. Normally I get a little foamy. Nothing. So either Grim is running out of foamies, or they just trying to... Oh, this can... Yeah, there we go. Get out of there, you piece of crap. I'm not dealing with that horse shit tonight, so... You want money? Get a job. More power to him. I just would not have put the serrated back on that little mini knife. Just my opinion, and yes, I do understand it does make me sound like a keyboard warrior because I'm not out there doing the stuff these guys are doing. So, does have it down. It does have its downside. I'm going to put user in timeout for 24 hours. Suck on that one, you turd. And there's Mrs. Rob. Or no, he's been here. I don't know what my brain is. Yeah, no, I don't find, because a lot of the times you need leverage on the front of your knife for like precision cuts or like a deeper cut. And having a razorback on there when you're trying to push down. So like a lot of people, they put leverage on the knife to cut, and having that serration right there on the back end is probably the worst thing to put on a knife. And my hand just cramped on me. Like, I can't do it. Like, if I need leverage, I need leverage, and I'm not going to put something that's going to tear up my finger, because if you slip or it gets caught, your finger's going to slide forward on that. And that is pretty much, that could end any sort of ability you have to use anything else afterwards, because your thumb and your forefinger are two of the main things you need for a lot of stuff, especially out in the wilderness. You can't tie a knot. It's going to be really hard to tie a knot with your middle finger and your ring finger. And offhand, we all know anything offhand just feels weird. You can do it, but it's going to feel funny. If it was like standard jimping, like rounded, I don't have a single knife back here that surprisingly that I can actually, well, I do, but I don't. But again, I'm not picking on nobody. I'm not telling anybody they suck at whatever they're doing. I'm just stating simple fact that putting a saw back on a knife is just not fundamentally sound. Like, it just doesn't sit proper. So I can cut left or right either way. It just feels more natural to do it left-handed, but I can do it right-handed. Now, again, there are a lot of these cards that are out there that I do see just slight improvements on, but that's from my standpoint. I like to think sometimes outside the box or even inside the box. But again, like I said, I'm not out there doing what these guys are doing. I'm not spending, 60, 80 days trying to survive with $40 worth of gear and whatever I can bring from my house that the company would let me, plus whatever they provide for you, which is usually, I think it's like a 12 by 12 tarp is usually what they provide you, and then like one or two other things. Again, I digress. I probably would, if I had the opportunity to and didn't have to worry about not having any money when I came back, I would probably do it. Well, they allow, you can get a list of items that they'll approve from, and you can pick those items. And then usually the production team will give you an additional like 2-3 items. Usually you're going to get like 2 or 3 tarps. Mainly one tarp is designed or really supposed to be used to keep your camera gear dry in like wet or snowy areas, or even rainy areas, like whatever. There's like I think it's like an 8x8 tarp or something like that you're supposed to use to cover your camera gear or your camera equipment, so you're not destroying thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment. Because you realize those guys are out there with 2 or 3 GoPros, actual action cam, and like 20, 30 batteries, and then they have a means of charging the batteries. So they have like solar charging docks or whatever, however they have it set up. So they have all of that camera equipment. They've got to keep the camera equipment maintained, so they have to have all of the stuff for said camera equipment. Very rarely on the show do they actually show you the entire camera box, but it's like 60, 80 pounds worth of camera equipment. So see, yeah, that's a 20 by 20 tarp. That is a huge tarp to do a lot with. And then I believe you're actually allowed to bring your own tarp as well, because it's one of the basic 10 items that you can choose from. As well. So you end up with if you do the right combination, you can end up with like 3 tarps. Yeah, there we go. Man, no freaking. My shirt's pissing me off. Normally I'm wearing a yellow one, but I was like throwing my clothes on this morning. I threw my orange one on. I was like, oh, guess I'm wearing orange 2 days in a row. So, I mean, me personally, the way I've seen a lot of these guys do the tarp configurations for basic camping or emergency tarp configurations for emergencies, I'd have to tell them I'd feel safer in doing them emergency tarp covers just for a couple of days while you slowly kind of work on the shindigs to live in. And I know most of these guys just do like a basic A-frame with the tarp and then just block off one of the other ends with either the additional tarp or backdrop of sticks and twigs and backpack and all the stuff that they give you. But again, I'm not out there doing this survival stuff. This is all just hearsay. Because we all watch this stuff and we all think, some of us think, oh, I can do that better. Me personally, I don't think I can do it better. I think I could survive if I had to. But truth be told, after probably about 14 days, I would be like, nope, I'm done. Yeah, they do get some things that they're allowed to take, some personal items. Yeah, no, yeah, well, that's part of the basic kit that you're gonna get. Now, most of the gear that you get, you have to bring from your house. If you don't have it, you kind of go without it. So yeah, it's nice to have winter boots or thermal boots and maybe some thermal socks, but if you ain't got like mucklucks or nothing, yeah, you kind of shit out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't live on Fantasy Island either. I live in the middle of the damn country, state wise, or at least I live in the middle of the state. I ain't got to worry about all that. But anyways, once again, I digress on this topic. These are just my thoughts, ramblings, however you have it. If you feel like I'm picking on people, I'm sorry, that is not what I'm doing. I am just stating a few things here and there that may or may not have any relevance to any conversation. So let's get back to a slightly more interesting topic, back to gardening. For those of us who are doing that, I was talking about updates myself. Jason's doing some good work on his Anaheims. He says he's got about 5 to 9 blooms on his Anaheim, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can get off of that. Hopefully, he can get one of them to actually produce seeds so he can actually start growing more. No new updates on Colin's tomatoes. I've got a few waterproof items here and there, but not in where I need them. But then again, I got a random tarp or two in my truck, so kind of sort of squared away there. I do got to uh, restock my thick 9 mil trash bag. Stick it near an onion. Ricotta hot pepper tree seeds today. What the hell? Okay, now I got to look that up. Interesting. It's wrong button. So apparently this is what Drops got. Capsaicin. I'm not even gonna try to no that is wrong. The word pubes should not be in the word capsaicin or capsicum. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible way to yeah. It's basically kind of like a I don't know, I can't even tell because between this picture over here, some of these look like little mini bell peppers, and then some of them look like cherry peppers. And then the one in the middle, one on the top that she's holding looks like a damn apple slash cherry. Hmm. Oh, so you can get the mixed ricotta seeds, 5 Manzano variety. So you get like probably a couple of seeds of each. Honey badger ricotta seeds. Okay, not too bad. Let's see see if I can find a only 100,000, reaching up to 100,000 Scoville heat units on the Scoville scale. It's a pretty decent hot pepper. Yeah, just like that. Hopefully you live in a climate warm enough that it won't freeze in the wintertime. Because even though it might be a tree, you're probably still required to overwinter it. That's what I'm doing with all of mine. I'm waiting for my pepper plants to get to like year 5 to where they're thick. Yeah, well, I wish I could. I just don't have the floor space for it. And people tend to frown upon you just planting random stuff in their yard. Even though it would benefit a lot of us if we all just started using our yards as freaking grow spaces. Everyone in the front yard just turn it into a garden. Be able to feed the whole neighborhood. But can't tell people what to do with their properties. You can ask, but asking doesn't always get you anywhere. Sometimes it gets you barked at or chased out by a dog. Or get you staring straight down the barrel of a 44, if you know what I mean. Sometimes a shotgun. But all in all, it would be nice to grow a lot more peppers down here. Wish I could grow more stuff in my neighbor's yard. They've got a huge, huge space that's just not being used for anything, and I would love to be able to go over there and grow stuff on their side. Got a whole section back there. It's shit about the same size as my whole entire front yard. Just barren wasteland. The only thing that back there is a I think it's a hay baler. Something like that. I don't know. They got that back there and like one other thing, and that's it. Sorry, I look like hell today. Jeez. Feel less stressed out though now that football season's over. But good Lord, people are still stupid. Well, my neighbors are also in their like 70s, and they've had that property that's like they're like third generation on that property. They used to have like 17 plus acres, 20 acres, something like that. Huge property. Sold off one section of it. It's like 5.5 acres to a farm down the street. They grow hay on there. Another property, because they used to be a dairy farm. So it was a dairy farm. They had cows and everything else, and then part of it was agriculture. So the property is designed technically originally as agriculture. They just have a couple of houses on it and the dairy farm milking station. But yeah, I've told them, I was like, if you guys ever want to do anything over there, I'm like, I'm always here. Always let me know. I'd love to grow more stuff on your like over there and help you guys grow stuff too. My neighbor too. My neighbor's got the one directly across the street. Well, they're technically both directly across the street from me. He's got a huge section of land that doesn't do anything on either, and I'd love to get over there and plant some stuff. Because they used to grow corn on his property. We used to just, when I was a kid, we used to just go over there and neighbor would just let us pick corn. We'd go over there. Kids would grab each would grab like 2 stalks or 2 corn cobs, and we'd come home and we'd have corn for like 2 weeks because, I pick 2, my sister picks 2, mom and dad go over there, they can get 2, so we get like 8 pieces of corn. Sit there, eat half a corn cob, you got 16 sections of corn cob. So, and we always used to do that. Kind of miss the old days. It is what it is. If I win the lottery, maybe I'll just be like, here's a 200,000 or 300. Here's $500,000 for the whole property. You guys can live here, whatever, free, and all I want to do is grow more food. I would love to get the corner property here too, because that's like 10 acres. It's like either 7 or 10 acres. It's a good sized property too. I just want to grow more. Because if I start to grow more, I can kind of technically quit my job. Fingers crossed. Wish I could. But gardening does not always pay off. Ask the farmers. They got hosed once again. Not my problem. That's why I grow my own food. Started wanting to grow my own food when the guy did it the first time. Round 2. That's why I'm growing my food again. Ooh, I do have good news on my beans. And I can't remember if they were the Kentucky Wonderpole beans on that one or if they were the Black Turtle Bush beans. But I've got like 6 or 8 pods growing on that one. The other one that I have growing in with my garlic, or well, I put garlic in with it, I should say. Unfortunately, that one is doing good. Finally, it's starting to produce flowers and seed pods. The only problem is some of the garlic down at the bottom is infested with freaking aphids. And I just cannot, I honestly, I cannot get rid of those damn things. I'll take the plant out, spray them off, throw it back in there in the next week, and it's like they never left. Which drives me nuts. Sorry, that was my chair. One of these days I gotta buy a new one. This thing is slowly dying. I have had this chair for a lot longer than I thought I did. Because I got this chair about 2 years after I moved down here because my other one just straight broke on me. I was sitting in it, or I sat down in it, and one of the chair legs, the wheel legs on the bottom, little 5-star, one of the stars broke, limbs broke off. Sat down, the whole thing just snapped off. Which happens from time to time. You know, chair has fatigue as well. They're not exactly 100% reinforced. They're just kind of strapped to a central pole, and that's what you kind of sort of get. So they do eventually give out. But I really don't want to spend $200 on a damn office chair. Because they are expensive, especially for a good, comfortable one like this one. I think when I first got this one, I think I paid like $120 for it. Now I can guarantee the same chair you probably buy, it's like $250, almost $300. But yeah, keep saying that a lot. I don't know. My mind is, I'm everywhere today, everywhere and nowhere. So if I feel like I'm blanking out, sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't even realize I've already gone for almost an hour. My bad. So let me do this. Oh, I forgot about the time frame. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be that. You're going to have a very short window because I'm going to go get me a beverage. Yeah. It's fairly accurate based on the cartoon movies. For some reason, I don't like who they picked for Astrid. I don't know why.
I'm okay with Astrid. I don't like who they picked for Rock Knight.
Yeah. She was not fat in the series. Fish Legs, on the other hand, they got him good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Like I said, I had one more. I actually only had one more. I've got more stuff I can drink, too. Oh, there's this guy. I don't know if that's actually Rob on the road or Rob in the office.
There you go.
Then I got these 2 ladies down here in the basement.
Breaking news.
Ooh, who got mauled by a buffalo?
No, the 2026 Winter Olympics are facing a condom shortage. They ran out. They passed out 300,000 condoms, and they ran out in 3 days.
How many babies are going to be born, you think?
I don't know.
No, people give them out as souvenirs to family when they get home.
No, they don't.
Now the whole stupid condom thing is basically for the participants, so they don't bang and do stupid stuff. It's not for the people watching or the
No,
patrons.
if you
that
go,
give
if you
money.
go onto eBay and stuff in a couple of weeks' time, you'll be able to buy them.
Are you going to buy one? Is the question.
No.
Do you know what? I've not watched a single spot of it this year.
Neither have I.
I don't really care. I mean, it's not the X Games, and really all the Olympics is a competition of who's got the bigger peepee.
Well, who's got the bigger?
I do
bank
like
account?
watching the archery one though because it's something I'm into.
Like I said, all the ones I want to watch are on while I'm working.
Same thing for archery usually.
Well, a lot of the events, in order to keep a certain individual happy, were staged before the opening ceremony.
Yeah, well, didn't even want him there. They booed the other one when he got over there. They were like, "Get the hell out!"
He doesn't get it.
Well, on that note, we can get back to gardening. Yeah, like I said, tomatoes are getting good. Like I said, I went in there this morning to secure everything because we're supposed to have high winds today because the storms have rolled through a few hours ago.
Oh, you
And
probably got what I had.
the storms. Yeah, so yeah, we had a little bit of high winds. We got lots of water, lots of rain. I went to go secure the greenhouse, and then while I was in there, so I can water the coffee seeds, I looked over. I go, oh wow, look, I got blooms. Oh look, the tomatoes are getting really big now. The peas are growing. So I'm gonna try to do some beans here in the next few days.
Probably throw them in there tonight, and they'll probably be sprouted by Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mine, for some reason, didn't do anything.
Mm.
And I really don't know why, because they weren't bad seeds. I think I have them too far down, or they're just not in an area where they're getting warm enough.
Yeah. Ooh, that was bright.
Well, don't look at it, Jason.
No, I saw the flash out of the corner of my eye.
I know that's what it is.
The clouds are flashing.
Don't die, Rob.
That was me.
We have snow. It's predicted for exactly 1 hour,
Ooh.
and then it's going to rain.
I have no idea what our temperature is or anything.
Yeah,
I would
we
like
have-
to ask you a medical question there, Rob, but don't want to put you on the spot.
What is it? And should it be something you ask your therapist or doctor in private?
No, just seeing what the update is with your mom.
Oh, well, yeah, she's out of isolation.
That's good.
That's about it, really.
That's better than.
She's gonna have to learn to walk again.
Been there, done that. I understand how that happens.
So yeah, it's a bit, and I'm gonna have to spend an absolute fortune I don't have on converting parts of the house for her.
Oof.
Is she ornery as ever or no?
Pardon?
Is she ornery as ever or no?
She's been worse.
Okay, not in a good way then. Okay. I know my mom was when she was in the hospital before she passed, but
So I've somehow got to find, well, a very large 5-figure sum.
a what?
A very large 5-figure sum to get work done.
You can't do the work yourself?
Not to code.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me
Ramps.
see if I know anybody over there besides you that who might know carpentry that's authorized to do so.
They're probably still going to need paying regardless.
Well,
You know, I've got to put in a wet room, stair lift, ramp. I need to replace some floorboards because they won't support the weight of the hospital bed.
Ouch.
well, that's the foundation stuff. That's a little bit more than I can help you with.
That's structural support, not foundation.
So it's, yeah, like I said,
Depends
it's
on
not
what
going to be,
the foundation looks like, to be honest.
it's not going to be a quick job.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's life, isn't it?
And you're an only child, right?
No, I've got a younger brother, but he don't do nothing.
That's too bad.
I genuinely considered looking at renting a bungalow. So it's all on one floor.
Would she be better off there?
Swings and roundabouts. In the mobility sense, yes. It would make life a hell of a lot easier. My mother is not famed for her being easy.
All right.
We'll see. Something will have to happen.
They don't like compromise, is what it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do know that some people, when they get to that stage, they put them on cruise ships and they go from cruise to cruise to cruise because it's cheaper.
Yeah, but not
That
when
might
it comes with medical expenses. That's not.
be- Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. It's going to be a fun one, put it that way.
Yeah, I found out that
Say hi to
that's
Jenny.
something disturbing about cruise ships. Hi, Jenny. Oh, is that an Ian?
No, Ian's in his room.
So then that was Jenny.
Yep.
I took a wild stab in the dark because I couldn't see over there. It was dark as shit in that corner.
Well, she's got the light off over there.
And why are you out in the living room? You didn't want to sit in your dungeon anymore?
No, it's just that chair is very uncomfortable. My chair's falling apart. I told you that.
Yeah, well, mine's dying too. I got duct tape on mine.
I was thinking about getting the hose clamp to do that, so you can keep it from going apart. As I'm sitting and watching and talking, it drops a little bit at a time.
Right, Jason? No, it's really funny. I found out on cruise ships that they actually have a morgue.
Yep.
I knew that.
They also have jail cells down there too.
Yep.
So if you getting a little too rambunctious, they stick your ass down there for a day or two.
As a general
longer.
rule, if a cruise ship starts giving away free ice cream all of a sudden, don't eat it.
They're clearing out the freezer.
Yep.
That's when
Gotta
you
keep
should
them
really worry
cool.
because you wonder how many people died and why.
Well, what's this I hear about your educated Californian comrades going around eating death cap mushrooms?
Who?
Let them.
Apparently there's been like 40 or so cases of people eating death caps in California.
I don't know, because they're dumb. It's California. I don't know. I'm allergic. I don't.
It's like
eat
eating a
mushrooms anyway.
puffball mushroom. You know you won't get sick eating a damn thing.
Yep.
I'm gonna get sick no matter what mushroom I eat, so I don't care. It doesn't matter what it is.
Let's went to a mushroom festival.
The Mushroom Festival. Yeah.
Oh, I do have an update on my truck, though.
Is it working?
No, not
No.
yet. They're picking up my truck on Monday, and they're going to start working on it. The VA approved the funds to fix it.
What all was wrong with it again?
I'm thinking it's the fuel pump, but I'm not sure. They're gonna do a diagnostic and all that stuff on Monday, and I don't even have to worry about getting a tow truck. They're just going to come over and push my truck over across the street. Save me a tow.
That's
'Cause
something.
the workshop's literally across the street from my house.
So you can't just you and Ian just can't push that thing over there?
I can't physically do that. No. Medically, I'm not allowed to. I've got like a 15-pound weight limit, dude.
You ain't got nobody in the neighborhood that's like, I'll give you $5
No,
to help me
they
push this
said,
over there.
I've already talked to Magnum Automotive. They're going to be doing it for me. They said they get their guys together and do that. I don't have to do anything.
You know they're just going to knock the brakes off it and let it roll.
I'm going to put it in neutral. I can put it in neutral and everything. It just doesn't start. It's like it's not getting gas. So I'm assuming that might be the fuel pump.
If I had the opportunity to hear it trying to start, I could tell you exactly what was wrong with it, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
it's a pain in the neck for the fuel pumps. Trust me.
It's usually one of three things. It's either fuel pump,
Or fuel filter.
alternator, or freaking battery.
No,
And
battery's
on
fully
the
charged.
off chance,
But
it's the ignition switch.
it's
that's a
brand
pain
new
in the
battery,
ass
so it's not the
fix.
battery.
Hi,
Hey,
Quick
Mike.
Mike, brother, long time
Hey,
no
Mike.
see.
That is a very long time to see him. I bet he was dodging falling iguanas there for a while.
No, he was out there with a net scooping them up. I mean, like free iguana meat.
Man, he's gonna be open up in a business of iguana burgers.
Iguana burgers. Well, yeah, that's a lot of mushrooms have that. They always have their counterpart that looks exactly like the mushroom you shouldn't eat.
All mushrooms are something I shouldn't eat.
Like even like turkey tail, there's a clone of turkey tail that if you pick the wrong version of that, you're gonna end up in the hospital.
I know
Well-
that there's some that looks like sponges, and the other one looks like it's got veins. Is
To
it different?
give you some context, this just boggles my mind. There's, I think 4 or 5 people have died. 7 have had to have liver transplants. And on the critical list is a 4-month-old.
How the hell's a 4-month-old eating freaking death cat mushrooms? They're rolling around and they're just crawling through the grasses, picking up whatever they can eat.
You have no clue.
Like 4-year-old just roaming the forest, just picking stuff off the forest floor.
Did some get in their mouth?
It's like, bruh. I feel like somebody slapped us with an Uno Reverso card on freaking mushrooms, because I feel like this is exactly how mushrooms started getting identified back in the day before they had, written pictures of mushrooms you don't eat. There had to have been a group of people just out there wandering through the bush, grabbing things blowing off the floor and eating it to see what happens.
Well, one of the people I interviewed said they ate it by accident, and this doctor went, "No, you ate it on purpose. You picked the wrong one by accident."
Yeah, you don't eat a mushroom by accident. Now, if you're sleepwalking out in the woods and you pick something up off the ground and eat it, yes, that's technically by accident. But if you consciously pick something off the ground and eat it, that's not an accident.
Okay, they said. Okay, according to the search, it says avoid mushrooms with white gills, bulbous sac-like base, a vulva or skirt ring on the stem, or red colors.
Just avoid, unless you're incredibly well skilled and knowledgeable. Just avoid them.
I have to. So there's no point.
I
to me.
agree there.
No, I'm generally speaking all up for a bit of the old foraging. I'm leaving them well alone.
Oh, there's a most poisonous mushrooms may have a acrid chemical or fishy odor, and non-poisonous ones, while some edible mushrooms grow on the wood, many toxic varieties are found in Pacific shaded areas, stick to known species. I know 100%, and that would be the morel. That's
Yeah, morels are fairly easy. And then turkey tails. Turkey tails grow on the side of usually dead logs or the side of trees.
I'll
we
be
call
right-
that chicken of the woods over
I'll be
here.
right
Yep.
back.
It's also known as shelf mushroom too, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it's basically just like a half circle mushroom with like a wavy edge. You can eat those ones, but again, if you are not 100% accurate identifying fungi, don't stick the damn thing in your mouth.
Yeah, if you can resist the urge.
I mean, some people will cut off like a small piece and test it. A small piece is not really gonna, unless you're deathly allergic like Colin is, a small piece of even like a toxic or poisonous mushroom might give you a day or two of bad nights, but shouldn't land you in a hospital. But here's what gets me. Everybody has a phone. Even some places of the woods have phone signal because they've always got satellites. Take a picture of the damn mushroom you're about to eat, see what it is. Like, would that really be that hard to identify the item? Or shit, for that matter, take a freaking mushroom identification book with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the small pocket versions. Gives you a picture, sometimes not in color, but, saves on cost of the book. But it gives you a very damn good description of the mushroom and whether or not it should or should not be eaten. So, there's that. I won't touch any of the mushrooms that grow on my property because I know for a damn fact most of them are going to make me sick. Even the ones that grow in mushroom compost. Which you would think those would be the ones that are edible, but no, when you mix the mushroom compost with everything else, the mycelium mutate and turn into something that's not originally came out of it. You get these long, wispy mushrooms with these little tiny white heads, but the undercarriage of that thing is dark as hell. And you don't want to eat those because God knows what the hell that mushroom actually is. And it's not like a regular mushroom because they pop up and they're dead after like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Yep, shit take mushrooms are, in my opinion, I would say not awesome, but I don't eat mushrooms. But yeah, that's a fairly easy one to identify. Thin white stem, humongous umbrella-style head. And they're usually like a tan brown, light brown with like a white undertone. But again, if you're not 100% on identifying your fungi, don't stick it in your mouth.
Leave them alone.
That's right.
Fungi don't play.
Yeah, sometimes I'd rather have bacterial infection than a fungal infection because bacterial infection you can get rid of, but a fungi, that's a whole different bag of bananas. That's like licking a poisonous snake. Well, okay, not really, because you can lick the snake, nothing's going to happen. But if you lick the drippings of the fangs of the snake, then you might have a bit of a bad day.
Yeah, don't lick the frogs either.
No licking. Yeah, do not lick frogs. Frogs are bad. No licking them.
Licking the frog is fine. Because that's essentially like tripping on acid, according to most people.
Yeah, some of them are deadly toxic.
I was going to say, some of them are toxic beyond all belief.
And that's why I got a pink and green frog that you don't lick that one because that one will send you to the hospital.
Is that would be the poison dart frog or something like that?
That's it. The Amazonian dart frog.
Yeah.
Those the arrow frog.
That's a rule.
That's another one.
If it looks tasty, do not lick it.
Well, that's the reason why a lot of that stuff is bright colors. Bright colors means don't touch me.
No, they're bright colours because our ambivalent creator had a sense of humour. I'm going to make you neon pink and stick you in the jungle where you'll stand out.
Yeah, everyone will want to eat you, but here's your defense is you swell up and you turn your saliva mixes, whatever mucus you produce mixes with their saliva and it glues their mouth shut after they spit you out. Which is why the boom slang is the biggest danger noodle out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that damn thing is bright green. Same color as the rest of the jungle.
What is it?
The boom slang. It's a snake. It is a.
I don't know. I get that. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to think. Boom.
It's got a weird, like, it's not even like a triangular head. It's got a weird shaped head, big old fat head with these massive glands on the back.
It's a
And
member
this
of the
thing is
viper
like
family.
4 feet long, skinny as shit.
It actually rears up like a cobra. It looks like.
Yes, it's a member of the viper family, and
Yeah.
it is one of the most deadly creatures on Earth.
So is the blue ringed octopus.
But if you can survive 36 hours, you recover fully.
Immune, or become a snake.
No, blue ring octopus. If it stings you and you survive 36 hours, you make 100% recovery.
Odds 0.
The
Yeah,
inland
very rare.
taipan is the most venomous snake. It's found in Central Australia.
What was that? The taipan.
Yep.
Yes, but the boom slang pound for pound is more deadly.
Yeah, you don't see the boom slang until you see the boom slang, and then it's too damn late because it's probably already tagged you.
It comes at you harder than an IRS audit.
Ooh, damn.
It's the honey badger of the snake world.
Yeah, they're aggressive as all Hades.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see where the boomslang is on the most dangerous snake list. It's not even on the list.
Because if you get tagged by a boom sling, you don't make it out to say what took you out.
Yeah.
No, I mean they're talking about the most venomous snakes in the world, and
Venomous and
taipan's
dangerous are
one.
two different things.
Yeah. Okay, let me try.
So is toxic. You get your toxic, you get your venom, and then you get dangerous. Which apparently Australia has like 85% of the most dangerous things on the planet.
Yeah, the taipan technically is the most venomous, but it's not killed anyone for over 50 years. 70 years. I think 50 mid-50s.
It's because everybody knows to stay the hell away from it.
No, the boom snake's not even on the list as the deadliest. It's got the taipan, the black mamba, saw-scale viper, eastern brown snake, the coastal taipan, Russell's viper, common crate, king cobra,
Crates are gorgeous snakes.
tiger snake, and then common death adder. Follows then boomslang is like number 11.
I'm surprised rattlesnake's not on there because that thing has taken out a shitload of people.
See, it goes right after the common death adder. They got the boomslang, fertilance, blue Malaysian, and coral snake.
The coral snake?
Yeah, it just can't bite. Its mouth may be tiny, but the venom is really deadly.
It's part of the cobra family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the mouth it doesn't have
family.
the bite.
Then the worst one is
all on you in order to inject you.
You got to watch out for the babies because the babies are like 3 times more toxic than the adults are.
Because they can't control their venom.
Yeah. They'll empty that whole venom sac into you, and you're pretty much dead within hours.
Yeah.
If not minutes.
No, like I said, last year there was a death from a Gila monster.
Mm-hmm.
Gila monster bites are poisonous. Are venomous. Okay, I have trouble telling them.
They're toxic.
They're toxic?
Yeah, well, yeah. He also
It's
had
a bacterial toxin.
Yeah, he also had other health issues as well.
It's getting bitten by a Gila monster or a Komodo dragon is along the same premise of getting bitten by a koala bear. Now, the chances of being bitten by a koala bear are, low, but they're not zero.
Yeah, okay, it is venom. Okay. What kind of venom is it? Doesn't say. Last fatality was on February 16th, 2024.
Yeah, so 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The
Just
last
about on
one
the
before
dot.
that was 1930.
More humans now. We like to touch and poke things that we shouldn't be doing.
Don't pet the danger noodles.
Exactly. That's a nope rope, danger noodle. There's like 4 or 5 more other ones that you like. Nope, no, thank you.
Buzzworm.
Buzzworms. Yeah, that's for our rattly friends down here down in the south.
Oh, we got him here too.
I owned a nope rope, very large nope rope. But then you have the funny nope ropes, or the friendly nope ropes, which are the hog nose.
Or the corn
Gopher
snakes.
snake.
Or the rat snake.
Gopher.
Yep.
But you got to watch out for the gardener snake. Well, they're not venomous or anything like that, but they do sting quite a bit when they bite
Yeah,
you.
they bite. I mean, they're tiny. Sad part is
Oh,
I haven't
no.
seen, I haven't
That's
seen
what
any
you
of those
thought.
around here recently.
You got to watch out for the water moccasins, though.
Says the guy
Here.
who used to play with them. You're lucky you're still alive.
Nah, they're not as bad as everybody thinks they are.
They're easier. They're easy to handle if you know what you're doing. Now, would I do it now? No.
It's spotting them is the issue.
They're pretty easy to see in the water. I can tell you that. That's where I usually see them.
Yeah, well, don't think that that's the only snake that knows how to swim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but
Snakes
just
ain't
to let you
stupid.
know, Cliff, if you see another person, all the people in your chat there watching you, I'm watching you on my TV too.
Yeah, all I see is blue light.
I'm sorry.
It's all blurred out.
It's there. It's you. It's all of us.
I'm not a crook.
Yes, you
Just to
are.
be clear, Cliff, I'm not watching on Collins TV.
I agree with you on that one. I'm not watching on his TV either. I couldn't even see that.
Nope.
All I saw was blue and white.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't zoom in. That's the
Now,
only issue.
Jason might be.
Now,
Well, that's because I've got a Roku, and so I got my Roku on there watching too. So it gives you an extra view.
Ooh, spank you.
Every little bit counts, right?
I just realized I put on there 2/4/26. That was supposed to say 2/14/26. No.
That would be a no.
I don't know what the hell. I must have missed hitting the one button. God damn you. Everyone's going to be like, what the hell's going on? Get off my screen, stupid. Fuck off. Stop. Go back to do one thing, and now it's like 40 gajillion. I don't know what the hell I did. Get off. Well, I'm on StreamYard, so let's see if that does it. Reload. Let's see if that saves it. I don't know if it did. No, it did not, because this thing is being a turd. Because in order for me to do this, I'll do it in post-editing. Because it won't let me edit it unless I declare that it is either made for kids or not made for kids. And I hate doing that because it messes up everything.
yes,
Also,
it does.
If you label it yes for kids, comments are disabled, and the only ones that can watch it are anybody under the age of 18. For the most part, it only pops up on your phone.
I have to mark mine as not meant for kids.
I don't normally mark mine at all. I usually just let it kind of free roam. But
I
I
can't
will.
really do that as a someone who's monetized. It's kind
How
of
the hell you can't?
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, it restricts on who's going to be on my channel too. So
That's
can't
exactly why I
unclick it.
leave mine open. I'd prefer 18 plus, but at the same time, kids are going to get on there no matter what. Even if they're 14, they'll still say they're 18.
Oh, sort of like the Ducks and Bucks back in the day.
Mm-hmm. And what was the other one that we used to have on here?
Ethan was originally, or Evan was originally.
Oh yeah, but he was a normal. We always seen him around. What was the other one that used to pop up on here that we just always pop up on your live, and then started up popping up on my live?
Wyatt.
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 There you go.
I haven't seen Wyatt in ages.
Yeah, I think he kind of got away from a lot of us after I didn't really go off on him, but after I informed him, it's like, look, I can't really have you on my channel as a minor due to the fact that almost everybody on here is old enough to be your damn grandpa,
Ooh.
along with some other things. But I had to make it clear to him. It's like, look, I can't have you up on panel because I don't want to get my channel shut down for posting a minor on my live streams.
Right.
And then after that, maybe one or two more times, and then I haven't seen him since. And popping in on a live stream on panel, laying in your bed, probably not a smart thing to do anyway as a minor, because that just sends the wrong signal.
We have agencies for dealing with that.
Yeah, it's called Mom. Yeah, I will edit that later. Because it really won't let me change it. I really thought I said that
It's
was
not
too
keen on
quick.
letting you make changes midstream.
It will, but the problem is, again, I have to either designate whether it is or isn't made for minors. And again, the minute I do that, it's going to restrict a lot of my content.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of my content is, I keep it fairly neutral. There's a swear word here and there, but again, it's not like these kids haven't heard that stuff before. Anybody with a cell phone, the minute you get a cell phone, you have access to pretty much all of that. So me saying it versus nobody else saying it doesn't really change a thing.
Well, yeah, I remember my dad, when we were little kids, all the swear words.
Yay, Deb made it. Welcome, Deb. I didn't see it pop up on the thingy, but
Hey, Dad. 19 teenage cat quail.
whale. 16-inch long feeder with deeper holes to eat from. I thought that was going to say D's nuts, and I was going to be like, thanks, Deb. Muchachos apreciado. Just kidding. Nice. Quail are still doing fantastic, I see. So that is always
is
a plus. Can't not have the little birds unhappy. I'm planning on doing chickens, and I don't know what the qualifications are going to be for buying them in bulk, or what I'm going to have to buy as a minimum stock number. Snyder. They make some good pretzels. I don't know. Kind of want another drink, but at the same time, do I want another drink?
Depends on if it's worth drinking.
Oh, it's definitely worth drinking. I have a relatively good supply of the green bottle.
Oh, okay. So I was, because last time you didn't have it.
Yeah, because they were trying to charge me $30 a bottle.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
I've got a
here's the
green
funny
bottle
part.
too. See?
I knew damn well exactly what they were doing it for.
This
Yeah.
is my Propel. This is my Propel, by the
It
way.
looks like I was gonna say it looked like lemonade.
Oh no, it's Propel.
Because of Super Bowl, they jacked up all the prices on liquor sales like 3 weeks before that.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that's exactly why they did it. Also, it could have possibly been due to
Valentine's Day.
rhymes with sheriff, but I can't 100% confirm that yet. So, but anyways,
Are you
wait until after Super
suggesting?
Bowl.
Are you suggesting there may have been a levy in place?
Yes. especially for my stuff, because my stuff is not made in the U.S.
Did anyone see that? It was going around on, I guess, Instagram. A business that went under just from one order.
Ouch.
They placed a stock order from, I guess, somewhere in Europe, the States, and they paid for it, as most businesses do. You hope to claim it back, and it arrived with an import levy and bankrupted the company.
Ouch. I'd have just sent that shit back. I'd have been like, nope, don't want it.
Yeah.
RTS on the envelope.
They're bankrupting Americans more than anything else.
But you got to remember, tariffs are fixing things.
Yes, they are not.
But don't you all have your Ferraris and yachts like you were promised?
No.
Nope.
No, but somebody has a nice jet that was donated from a foreign dignitary.
Oh, but that's not a gift. That's not a gift.
It wasn't a gift; it was a business tool that he is using to
It's a tax write-off is what it is.
something freedom the world.
I got my underwear belt. I'm gonna go get me the other portion of the beverage, and then we'll get that portion started because that's where tonight's going. Do I even have one in the fridge?
Colin, when did you go for your appointment?
The 25th.
Oh, 10 days time.
Yep. A little over a week.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about it right now. So just.
God,
And when they did my evaluation earlier, they discovered I have no improvement. Nothing I can do about it.
But also, you've not gone backwards.
No, I mean I am my maybe a little. I've been having trouble with the endurance. I get to a certain point that my knee hurts so bad I can't barely walk, so I had to bring my cane with me.
Oh, well,
But they said that's normal. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it took me this long, but I realized once I got to my refrigerator, all of my stuff is in here. Like everything is in here.
You need a mini freezer there or something.
I got no room in here for a freezer. In order for me to get a freezer, I'd have to throw away all my stuff.
What do you need? A big freezer? You just need a little one.
I can't fit one in here. I've got an entire house's worth. I got like a 2-bedroom house worth of shit stuffed in a 12 by 14 room.
I see a spot right behind you next to the wall.
Yeah, what about a roof-mounted one?
Yeah, I still got to get my mattress off of my bed so I can put my covers on. That's already packed enough as it is. I barely got room to do that.
And you would suggest getting rid of the bunk bed, right?
What am I going to sleep on? The floor?
On the bottom.
Bunk beds are for storage.
I've got clothes and survival gear on top. If I get
I'm
rid
just
of that,
making
where the
fun
hell
of
am I
you.
going to put
I
it?
know why you do it. Don't worry about it.
If I get rid of that, I got nowhere. I'm not putting any more stuff out in another vehicle because last time I did that, someone stole all my shit.
Right. You can't afford a storage unit.
Could, but I'm not going to. What's the point?
I don't like if I need something, I want to be able to have access to it all the time, not just some of the time.
Oh,
What
I
do
got
you mean?
plugs everywhere.
You need the 24-hour storage units that are 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
But no, but even then, they're not secure because people can get into them from other units.
Storage units are a pain in the butt. Majority of storage units, you are required to have 2 addresses in order to get a storage unit.
I never did.
One main address and a backup address, which is to me
I've
is
never had
number
any of
shit.
that. It must be only in your area because I've never had to do that.
No, it's because they want to make sure you're not going to default on freaking monthly payments.
Well, I paid mine off before I moved everything out, cleaned it up and everything.
which is an
But the-
absolute pain in the ass, in my opinion.
I cleaned mine up cleaner than it was when I found it, when I first moved in. At least
I
I'm
look at
not.
it this way: if you're willing to pay for a storage unit, you shouldn't matter what you need as an address. You're paying for a storage unit.
I mean, if you're willing to pay for a storage unit, there's a very real chance you need to sort out what you own.
Yeah, it's like I'm already paying you like $200 a month or whatever for the storage unit for the size I'm paying for. Why do you need a second address? If I default on payments, just sell the shit out of the storage unit like you guys always do. That's why they have those TV shows called Storage Wars.
It's not like they've lost money anyway. They already own the building.
Right? Worse than the most they're going to do is they're going to take all that stuff, throw it in a dump truck or dumper, and haul it
Good
off to the
will it?
freaking landfill.
That isn't a damn good will,
It ain't like they can't afford that.
What happens is they close out those lockers, they take all the stuff to the thrift store, and then Colin takes it home the next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
Hey, at least I find cool stuff for cheap.
I've
Don't be doing
What's
that,
local?
Rob.
sorry?
I said, don't be doing that.
Oh mate, I'm on our I don't even know now what day. It's the 15th today, so I've not been home since the 29th of January.
Where the hell you been sleeping for the last, like, 18 days or 15, 16 days?
Chair at the hospital.
Yeah, well, yeah. That does make sense.
I picked up a new injury, so that's nice. From sleeping in a chair at the hospital.
So I take it you're kind of standing crooked?
Everything is crooked. I think my spine's currently 2 towns over.
Ooh, damn.
Just be careful, don't trip on those sidewalks you guys got. Oh man, those things are nasty.
It's not the sidewalk you got to worry about tripping on. It's all the moisture.
It was rather moist that night.
it was definitely moist.
Are you happen to eat the hospital food too?
No, we don't get. Only just patients get provided food and drinks.
Well, no. Well, they usually have a cafeteria where we can go to.
Yeah, it's like everywhere, and it's all junk.
Yeah.
There's one place you can guarantee you can't get healthy food. It's a hospital.
Yeah, too much salt.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like the stuff they feed you in the hospital is designed to keep you in the hospital longer so they can make more money off your sick ass.
Well, so the food the patients get served, no matter what combination you pick, will give you 100% of your daily requirements.
Yeah, of diarrhea.
But for Joe Public who goes to the canteen, that rule doesn't apply. I've literally been living off energy drinks, sweets,
Oh, you can't see it from there.
and power naps.
Yeah, and they really do put the like most uncomfortable ass chairs in those like waiting rooms or patient rooms.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, you're not allowed to sit on the chair next to the bed because that's for the patient. The bed-bound patient.
Yeah, if they're not getting out of the strip of the bed, there's no point in having a chair there for them.
But you are allowed to sit on the blue plastic chair.
Jason's sending me more dirty pics.
Yep.
How'd you like the rat one I sent you yesterday? I saw that one, and I like literally the only thing I could think about in my head was somebody come get her. She's acting like a stripper. I will have to. Damn. That top one is whoo, grandpa's finger. You don't do that. Welcome back. Actually, sadly, I had to step away for a second, even after I poured my beverage, because nature screams. It's not calling; it's yelling at me through a megaphone.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get more coffee.
Ah, we're gonna leave everybody here.
I'm here.
I'm not sure it's safe to drink any more coffee.
No, me, I had my Propel water.
I think we're now measuring in gallons per day when it comes to coffee. In fact, it's so bad that I bought 2 Starbucks thermos cups while I've been in the hospital.
To what?
Two Starbucks insulated cups while I've
Oh,
been
I
in the
don't-
hospital to
I
keep
don't-
my coffee warm.
I don't believe in Starbucks.
We ain't got a lot of options.
Make your own.
Can't on the ward.
Hot water and instant coffee.
Yeah, we don't have access to that on the ward. There's no kettles or anything.
That's too bad.
No, this is the fallout from COVID, you see. They've taken everything away. Which, in all fairness, isn't a bad thing.
Ooh, it's only 8:30. Sweet, I got 30 minutes to suck this water down. Spiced water. So who all is here? Because I gotta show you guys something.
I'm here.
Oh,
But
good.
I'm
Everybody's
not,
here.
I'm here. I'm not here. I'm not the guy you think I'm.
Good, because I'm gonna show you my.
What's that? You're nuts. Yes, we knew that, Cliff.
Had to put my nuts on screen.
But just don't play with them, please.
I did. Sadly, I ran out of the honey roasted ones last week.
What happened?
Yeah, drop saying something like that on a live stream, saying that you're dating a teenager, probably not the smartest thing to do. With the current standings of our world.
But making comments like that is how you make friends with the Balaclava Club.
Yes.
Mark's safe from the Epstein files.
Yes.
I'll put you on a list.
You get your name redacted on information. 'Cause
They
remember,
confirmed
13
today that Adam West, aka Batman, is not in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
I would hope not.
Makes me. Which comedian was it? Some American comedian. Was on the radio earlier. Yeah, the radio, the thing no one listens to. Was like he said, he goes, the thing that makes me most worried about the nation right now is that we release some files, and people are being prosecuted in foreign lands where it doesn't apply quicker than we're doing it here.
Sounds about right.
I mean, to be fair, this is going to go on for years.
Oh, but in order to distract us from that, somebody supposedly said they contacted the CEO of Coke, and they're now going to be using real sugar in Coke once again, as if though that's going to distract us from this.
So basically, you're going to be drinking Mexican Coke.
Yep.
Exactly.
And Mexican Sprite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's not Sprite anymore. It's Starry.
Is it?
No, they still got Sprite.
So it's Sprite over here. Oh, maybe that's because it's a different company who owns it over here. Interesting.
Also found out the real reason why Fanta exists, and that one
It's not Nazi Cola.
It really is.
Yeah.
Hitler couldn't get his Coke, so they were like, we're going to brew this with apples instead. And then they ended up with orange Fanta. Saw that. I was like, holy Christ. That is crazy. Literally Nazi soda.
If you ever want a giggle, do a deep dive into things they screwed up beyond the usual. For example, the atomic bomb, they literally got the math the wrong way round. They would have, if they'd just changed the numbers the other way on the page, they'd have got there before you guys did.
Mhm.
And
They probably would
something
have gotten to
else.
space before we did too.
Oh, and they gave away one of their entire invasion plans because they didn't believe in it, and that's how we got back into France.
Yes. Deception.
Yeah, they Uno reverse carded themselves on that one.
And of course, they did the most heinous thing known to mankind: the VW Beetle.
No,
No,
what was about the thing?
Remakes were terrible.
About the thing, VW thing.
That was cool.
Yeah.
But
That
they
was
don't
an
make
attack
enough of
go
those.
kart.
Huh?
The thing was a VW attack go kart. It was like the Jack Russell of the car world.
Yes.
Yeah, but they don't make. They didn't. They stopped making them. That's the problem.
They're popular over here.
They're popular all over the Southwest.
Not the originals. The original
the
ones you
thing.
don't see anymore. You don't see a lot of them.
I know where there was one for sale.
So when I lived in Denver and I worked for what is now Bimbo, my boss actually had one.
The place where that house is for sale that we're looking at is got one nearby.
What, a thing or a beetle?
Beetle.
If it's not a split window oval back, it's really not worth owning. We have a large VW collectors club down the road from me.
Now, if it was made in either Mexico or the United States, then you got to know that too.
Grace has an original 73 Canary Yellow Bug.
Nice.
Ooh, way
Well,
to go, Grace.
My brother belongs to the VW Bus Club.
You
Well, here's a little
can't
bit-
beat. There's one person you can't beat Fluffy. He's got like 29 of them.
With the buses?
Yep.
Well, here's a
VW
little bit of
buses.
trivia for you. Do you know why American VW buses have cheese-shaped roofs and Europeans have fold-over roofs? This is a great one. This is America at its finest.
I don't know.
So the American buses pop up from the front.
Mm-hmm.
They have that wedge shape.
Yeah.
All because after the war, any story that starts with after the war is going to involve America. They put an embargo on hinges coming from Germany.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get that lovely rainbow stripe rollover top. You get the ugly cheese wedge. America. Thinking
I was going to
forward.
assume it's because it made it a lot easier to stand up in that and shoot from the front window while driving forward.
Yeah, no, it's all because they put an embargo on hinges.
Just dumb.
So, Cliff, you've been watching Utah Air Guns then, right?
No.
Yes, they have the Prairie Dog van. They park out in the fields, and they literally shoot from the van to get rid of the prairie dogs on the farmer's land.
Is it like a brown van?
No, it's white.
That's crazy.
And then they also have one of those trucks that are not legal to drive here in the U.S. And it has a scissor lift on it with a cage around it, so they can have a portable hunting blind up high.
Oh, you mean
Hold on. They got a K truck with a scissor lift on it?
Yes.
What?
I thought they were banning all cage. Those.
They have to transport it to location on a trailer.
No,
It's
I
a
thought
show
they got
car.
rid of the ban on those in the States.
You can buy them, but you can't use them on the streets.
Yeah, they're show cars.
No, that's some BS because that's the most. It's a 4-cylinder that works like a 6-cylinder and has just all the function, like the standard functions of a 4-wheel drive, like an old military Jeep.
Well, say
But they're not. They're
You
not
can-
25 years old.
yeah, you can use them on farms. You can use them on golf courses, places like that, private property. But you can't drive them on the streets.
I know there's some states that have actually been like, yeah, you could, because it has
They're trying
everything
to.
required by the state to drive on the roads, blinkers, brakes, all of that stuff.
Yes,
all
they
you
have
know,
everything.
entered in, get your hazard lights. It has all of that.
They're actually in better order than a lot of cars that come off the lot in America.
No, that thing is definitely in back because you're paying like $14,000 for a truck, if that, and that depends on if you get bells and whistles with it. I think the base price on that thing is like $8 or $10,000.
Yeah. It's as simple can be.
Mm-hmm. They've not quite gained in popularity over here because we already have a small car market.
Honestly, me personally, I actually think them trucks are pretty damn cool because you can do a lot with that little tiny ass truck.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
mind you can't fit a lot of people in it.
No, but you can make a 2-person camper.
Well, no, the
Yeah,
problem is
easy.
no. Here's the thing: you can legally get a side-by-side tags and a license plate to drive on the street, but you can't do that with the K truck.
Yeah, which I think is stupid because a K truck's actually a roadworthy truck, and yet a side by side is technically not supposed to be on the road because most states
Off-road. Yes.
have a ban on using off-road vehicles on your main highways, unless you live in New Mexico and our governor's a douchebag and was like, "Oh yeah, you can do 4-wheel drives, ATVs, side by sides, quads." You can drive those on the roads as long as you have the proper license for it and you obey the laws.
So we had over here a while back a big spate of people buying it's called performance quad bikes. You know, the ones that have been loosely adapted for highway use. Would you like to imagine how long that craze lasted?
About 2 weeks.
Pretty much. The amount of spare parts and breakable items you could now buy in reclaiming yards.
Yeah.
Because there's no driving school, quote unquote, for quad bikes on the highway. No one teaches you they do not handle at anything over 5 miles an hour.
Don't turn at more than
Ever.
5 miles an hour.
Yeah, don't ever turn a quad bike. Ever.
Well, you will tip over really, really easily.
No, the quads are surprisingly stable until you get to a certain speed limit, but the ones that were the worst ones were the trikes.
Now, which ones?
No, the old 3-wheel ATV.
Oh, the Honda ATV.
Yes, that damn thing with the front steering
See.
wheel and then you had the 2 in the back. Oh man,
Yeah.
the amount of times I
Um,
watched
with-
my uncle eat shit on one of those things
With
going
the-
around a corner doing like 8 miles an hour.
In Honda Red and the big black balloon tyres.
Yep.
Yes. And you go around the corner doing like 8 miles an hour, no matter which direction you turn, that shit would, you turn left, that bitch would roll right. You turn right, that bitch would roll left, and you'd be
Well,
done.
so you know they did the 45 and then they did the 90 version of it, the 90cc, which is one that killed everybody. There is a 150 out there.
Oh, they made lots of 110s and 150s. I do remember those.
Because what you needed was something that would kill you twice before you turned it on.
It's a good thing you didn't have to pull start those suckers.
Get the football team together.
Jeez, you'd be cranking on that thing for like 20, 30 minutes like you do if you like when you put your gas lawnmower in the storage for the whole winter season and you try to light it up at the beginning of the season. And you're sitting there yanking out the spark plug, draining out the gas, redoing the filter, putting the new spark plug in, making sure the coil's right, making sure the line's clean. Then you got to sit there and pull start the damn thing for like 20 minutes before it actually kicks in. Oh, dude, dead drops, that's everywhere's got ATVs. It's like, they drive down my road all the time. And to be honest, I'm half tempted to just sit out there in my driveway or like the entrance of my property with my truck. And the minute I see one, just bam.
Yeah, the problem is it's so hard to get parts.
See, ATVs over here just never really took off, mainly because it's cheaper to buy a 4x4.
Oh, they're dirt cheap. She's buying a quad half the time, like the side-by-sides. Those things are
I'm gonna
super
drop
cheap.
off. Sorry, I'm going to drop off. I'm getting
Yeah,
ready.
I'm a little tired.
I'm more than a little.
Good night.
Yes.
Night,
See you
night,
later.
Colleen. Happy Valentine's Day.
Nope.
Yeah.
By the way, tomorrow's going to be really cheap candy day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Discount candy Sunday.
So for those of you who do not celebrate this shit holiday for being single or others, tomorrow's cheap ass candy. Tomorrow's 50%, like half off candy day.
No, don't forget, February 14th is also National Book Day. In fact, there's about 20 different days associated with the 14th of February.
Yeah, that's like 90% of February.
I to be fair, I'm not big into Valentine's Day, but every year I do offer a 1-day deal on reduction price for discounts on divorce rates. I'll do your divorce papers at half price.
Might not do them correctly, but he'll do them for half price.
Exactly.
There's a clause in here that says in order to get the dog, you have to do some things with the dog. I don't know what that's all about, but it's been signed in triplicate and been notarized by a notary, so yeah, you got to do it. I ain't doing that. You can keep the dog. All right, works for me.
According to this paperwork, you did redacted with Winona Ryder. Would you care to explain?
No. What is that? That reminds me of. Oh my God, they did 2 movies and a TV series. Would you like to know more? And it's not the now you know or the more you know BS. Would you like to
All right.
become a citizen? Would you like to know more?
One of my favorite movies,
My brain I can't remember the name of the movie.
Starship Troopers.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, the
yes.
third one sucked.
The movie that made Nerf guns famous.
I'm sorry, there's only one movie. I did not like the second one, and I did not like the third one.
Oh, the third one was absolutely terrible. And anyone who's seen the third one has literally forgotten that the third one even existed.
I
I
got
didn't even know there was a second one.
Oh, yeah. The third one had absolutely nothing to do with the original movie. It was just some random offshoot of some like hour and 30-minute bullshit.
It was a cheap version of Riddick.
Yes, it really was.
Ah,
Yeah, do you remember they did a TV series too?
Yeah,
Oh God, I tell people that there was a TV series on that movie, and they're like, "No, there wasn't." I'm like, "Yeah, there was, dude. It was like 10 episodes, and that shit tanked faster than a
now
little lead balloon."
was it worse than Firefly?
no, Firefly was actually good because it was entertaining.
Firefly was almost canceled, and then all of the fans were like, "No, you need." Well, like millions of fans were like, "You need to keep this going." The series was good. The movie was at best.
What was it? They did an animation of Starship Troopers, but it was called Rico's Roughnecks, which was actually more like the book.
Yeah, that was the series.
Yeah.
Or the cartoon series.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Like I said, that one was more like the book itself.
See, I never read the original books, but I do know of the. Like I said, I ran across the series. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm like, "What the hell? They actually had a TV series on this one?" Yeah, it completely threw me off. I was not expecting it. Yeah, this may or may not be entertaining. Well, let's find out. I deleted it early enough, but I guess not.
It's so far
Range drops.
Oh, Jason, I can find anything I want to. Don't worry. But yeah, Firefly was a real good movie. I watched that series. I loved it.
the whole one year.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was good. It was a good series.
They could have done a second season on it, but I mean, that would have really, truly, honestly, that would have been up to Nathan Fillion whether or not he wanted to do another series or another season.
I watched an old movie called The Wildcats with Goldie Hawn in it last night. That was hilarious. You should watch that.
I forgot Goldie Hawn existed. I haven't seen anything from her in, well, obviously decades because, old age and whatnot.
Yeah, well, she didn't have the best odors in the world, but whatever. She was funny. But it is what it is. So I got my those pepper seeds today. It grows like a tree. And I sent that to you in chat, remember?
Yeah, I was looking at those Rocos, but it didn't look like a tree. It looked more like a bush. But I mean, I'm assuming that just depends on how you trim it and maintain the seed growth as it is.
No, it actually grows like a tree, like the jujube tree, which the jujube tree is like a date tree. And actually,
Yeah, I know my neighbor has one. We actually grew it for her and planted it over there for her.
yeah, and the tamaro tree, grows tomato-like stuff. I'm looking at more food for stuff like Howie does, and we got my place, her place, and we got the farm. So I'm just thinking, probably a better thing, start to put stuff like that, and we don't have to actually start, keep growing stuff and keeping seeds going, but I have enough of them, so there you go. I just find it more that some do not plant again, like those wing beans, and they put nitrogen in soil and create their own fertilizer. I think it's probably a better thing to do, but not to get off topic because it hasn't been a garden situation, for the last like 30 minutes.
Well, that's just we get off. We randomly get off. I don't really have a full-on topic. It's just kind of live open chat and random garden chat. But I mean, we were trying to go through the turning your garden into a greenhouse scenario, or growing in your rooms, or growing in an apartment, and I got nothing on that shit. Nobody showed up for it. It was me, Jason, and Colin, and that was mainly it. And like maybe a handful of other people.
Well, I actually do
showed up for, which was kind of frustrating.
I actually do grow indoors during the wintertime. In the church that I have on this house that I bought recently, last 2 years, I do actually grow. I've got tobacco plants in there. I got tomatoes. I got peppers. I've got even broccoli growing and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I grow lettuce and microgreens too during the winter, just for salads and tomatoes.
Yeah, with lettuce though, you have to have it at least above 55. Roughly, it's like 55 to 65 to get lettuce to grow, maintain a good growth season. I think anything past 65, like once you get to like 70, 75, it starts to bolt. It's too hot.
That's not actually true. There's one called tennis ball that Thomas Jefferson used to grow, and it goes from extreme cold weather to extreme hot weather, and it grows about 4 inches around. Kind of forms like a cabbage steak thing, but not really. But you can grow tennis ball, or tom-toms is another name for it. Okay.
I've never heard it
And
called tennis ball, but yeah, I do know the tom tom lettuce
Tom Thumb.
or pom pom or whatever. Yeah.
Tom Thumb.
Oh, Tom Thumb. TH. TTH. Tom Thumb.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
like a cross between what do you call it? One of the most popular lettuce for like salads. Can you remember, Jason? I can't remember right now.
Which one?
Oh, that would be the.
Iceberg, the
Romaine. Romaine. Yeah. And then there's also the instead of cilantro, you got cilantro. There's a U instead of an I in there. That's a nice little herb to grow in your garden. It's much more hardier. It doesn't bolt at 85 degrees.
Does not like my climate. I've tried growing that shit. And
Did you
within 3 weeks of planting it, it bolts no matter what I do.
Did you grow cilantro or cilantro?
I was trying to grow cilantro. I had it in like 3 different pots, and I kid you not, within 3 weeks of me planting that,
Yeah.
it was already trying to produce seeds. I'm like, well, that sucks.
At 85 degrees, cilantro goes bad, but did you try cilantro?
I had it in the shade under a tree.
No. It's spelled this way. C-U-L instead of C-I-L. Did you try cilantro?
No, I never even heard of it.
Yes, I guess you haven't, so you need to look it up right now. Because it doesn't bolt at 85 degrees.
A lot of everything in my state bolt, or anything I grow bolts at 85 degrees. I still have not managed to grow cauliflower, and I don't know. I really want to, but I've heard, apparently I found out you got to kind of sort of cold stratify that in order to get it to grow or germinate.
Yes, you have to put them in. Yeah, most of the brassicas you have to put them into a freezer and put them into a state of freeze until you actually go to actually germinate them, because they don't go if it's too hot. But have you ever heard of rab broccoli?
RAAB.
RAAB, yes.
no.
Okay, they create small florets. They don't have a big stem, and you can just sit there and trim them off there for like whatever.
That's the one that's similar to broccoli, is it not?
Yes, and you can get
Yeah.
the white ones or the green ones. So, and you get florets, small florets up each one of them all the time. They grow much faster, and they're probably better crop than broccoli to grow.
I don't want to grow broccoli. I don't know. Broccoli's gross in my opinion. I want to do cauliflower because we have a recipe for cauliflower soup.
Well, some of the rab actually does produce the white flower instead of the green one. In fact, a lot of them do. So you might want to look into rab broccoli, because that's basically the same thing. Just not
Yeah,
getting
pretty
those.
much. I mean, that's really all cauliflower is just an albino version of broccoli.
Yeah, well, if you want to be technical, it's a big, beautiful flower of broccoli. You know what I'm saying. So there you go. If anybody has TDS, that's their problem. But I just kind of made that little comment there. But you should look into it, because I think actually,
Again, I've got limited grow space, so I can only grow a certain amount of things. Last year, I overextended myself. I tried to grow far too many crops, and it just did not work out for me.
well, give it a try and see if it works for you, because it will grow really fast. And if your season gets too hot, you will be able to get plenty off of it. And that's probably the best thing for you to do, is to try looking into alternatives like that, because you're not going to get a big, beautiful broccoli, or a big, beautiful cauliflower plant over there, because it's just going to be too hot for the, for them.
Oh, once I hit April. Once I hit about May, it starts getting into like the 80s and 90s, and
Yeah.
I have like about a 2.5 month window where it's nice and chill, perfect for growing certain things, and then after that, it's just too freaking hot until like
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, exactly. And Jason knows about that too.
Oh yeah.
So I would suggest you try that, because it makes small florets, and you can still make them for salads and cut them off, and you get plenty every day. You have to you don't have to worry about that big, beautiful flower to pop up. You can just cut little florets off of it continuously.
I still want to grow artichoke, which sounds absolutely stupid because
Oh,
God
I-
Almighty, you need an astronomical amount of foot space to grow that shit.
Oh yeah.
I love artichoke hearts. I mean, don't
But
get
you
me
need like
wrong.
you need like a 3.5 foot square, basically 3.5 square feet to grow one goddamn plant.
I know, and it, and you pickle them. That's one of the things I really like about artichoke hearts.
I don't even want them to eat. I want them for the bees.
They're beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely gorgeous, massively purple flower, and the bees get absolutely drunk off of that stuff.
You can grow my tobacco plants. They grow about 6 to 8 feet tall, and they have these white flowers with purple ends on them, and just attracts the hummingbirds and everything. I'm getting several pods together. I'll probably just send you some if you want to send
I
me
do
your
not want
address.
tobacco plants.
Why not? They're the
I
greatest.
have no use for them.
They are one of the best compost plants in the world.
I have no use for a pot plant.
No, tobacco.
I have no use for that either. Don't smoke it. Don't need to grow it.
That's one of the best composts in the world.
Coffee grounds.
Yeah, you can do coffee grounds, but how many coffee beans are going to grow, Jason?
Can't grow coffee beans from coffee grounds.
Yeah. And, you don't have the climate to grow coffee around here. So,
That's
There's
why we
a-
have greenhouses. You had greenhouse with heat and humidity. You just add water to it, and you got plenty of opportunities to grow stuff. That's why most of us down in the South use greenhouses. You've got the environment you need in the greenhouse. All you got to do is keep it above 85, 90 degrees and just add moisture to make it tropical climate, and you're good. You can pretty much grow anything.
I know the latitude that I have right now is not actually the same as yours, and you're lower. But the whole thing is that our climate is a lot more southern than yours is. We got a much better growing season.
On top of that, they also make great house plants too.
Yeah, I mean it's
To
up
an
to
extent.
you. But those winged beans I talked about, those are amazing plants that actually put nitrogen in the soil, and you can rotate your good stuff in there after 1 year. And you can plant that 1 year, and then you plant corn or whatever you want to, or your beets or whatever, because beets are very high in nitrogen. So
Beets are also gross tasting.
no, well they're not actually. If you roast them with radishes and onions,
Beets are gross.
you don't pickle them. I mean,
I've grown a few on accident because whatever I had in a packet of what was considered mescaline salad mix had some beet seeds in that, and I was like, yanked them out thinking, oh, these are cool radishes, and I cut one in half, and I'm like, that's a freaking beet. Now, how
Yeah.
the hell did this get in here? I never even bought a packet of beet seeds.
I would actually rather have mescaline mixed greens instead of like lettuce iceberg and stuff. It's much
That's
better
what I
for
had.
you.
I planted a bunch of that stuff, and
Yeah.
I didn't get a single lettuce out of it. I got random, like like I said, one of them was beets. One of them was a funky, almost like a kohlrabi, but not quite.
Kohlrabi, yes.
And I was like, what the hell is? I was like, this is not what I expected, because they give you a basic picture of like on the packaging or whatever. I don't think I got a single thing off of that package that actually grew in that pack of seeds. It was just the most random seed pack in the history of random seed packs.
I just generally grow them for grains for like microgreens. But I actually did grow some, and I did save a bunch of seeds, and I have a bunch of seeds for that, and they're pretty good. So,
If I'm going to do microgreens, I'm just going to do onions, because I can get those things in Germany in like 3 to 4 days. Easy peasy.
Yeah, 5 to 7 days on microgreens for a lot of the greens for that. So I don't know, but they're great in salads if you want a great salad. But
Yeah,
you're looking
I'd rather
at
just do bean sprouts, but You had to plant a crap ton to get bean sprouts. Plus, you have to go a certain
Yeah,
way
they don't go very far.
time to sit there and stick a jar in the fridge to possibly get bean sprouts.
Well, amaranth is a good one too, by the way. You can eat the stems, the leaves, the flowers. You can eat the grain. That
I'll
it
be right back,
produces.
gentlemen.
Alrighty.
Too many liquids.
No,
What do you say, Jason?
I need to get going soon.
You got to go to work again?
No, but you
Yeah, I work every weekend.
Oh,
you go to work late.
that sucks.
Some of us are at work.
Well, I don't live in the UK. My brother does.
I like having the middle of the week off.
Well, I generally don't work anymore. I just sit there and trade stocks during the week when the market's open, and then when like I get a 3-day off this today, so like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because it's President's Day. I just whatever. I enjoy my life, and I do a little bit of gardening. I do whatever I want to do, and it is what it is. I mean, your life is not my life, so
Yeah.
there you go. I had a bad week this week, really bad on the stock market. Only made $1,200. Yeah, I know it sounds funny, but it is what it is. But there's certain things you can grow, and sustainable seeds and gardens, stuff like that. It's probably pretty important, I think, in my opinion. But there's also other things you can do. You can do your preps. You can do your bushcrafting. You can do your how many people know how to dress a rabbit or a bird or even butcher a hawk? Not many.
No.
And I think it's pretty important that people learn how to do stuff. Yeah, Dev, I don't even give Social Security. I make too much money to even try to claim it. Otherwise, I would get zero. That kind of sucks. I want a refund check. You know what I'm saying?
Month 4 is Soxic. New. Why would anybody grow dandelion seeds for microgreens? That doesn't make any sense. If you're going to grow dandelions, you might as well grow them for the flower so you can actually make dandelion wine.
Well, they use it for salad greens.
That too. Well, you got to use the young ones for salad greens. You can't use the mature leaves because
Yeah.
they taste all bitter and nasty.
Well, you can grow up land lettuce too, but that grows pretty much is pretty hardy with extreme cold and heat. But the one thing about dandelions is if you have no salt source, you can sit there and boil the roots and get salt off of them. That's one of the things you need to learn about. That's a prepper. That's a bushcraft thing. You can always get salt off of them. Good quality salt, not the junk you get in the store.
My question is, how are you going to get salt off of them if there's not really that much salt in soil?
There's always
Magic.
salt in soil. But they accumulate salt, period, no matter what. So when you boil the roots on dandelions, you get salt off of it, period. So, and we gotta be real about this. The most important mineral in the world was salt. You're worth your salt, which the Roman soldiers got paid in, and which King David went over there to Queen Sheba and said, we need salt. Okay. So salt is the most important mineral on the face of the earth because without salt, we can't survive. And that's no joke.
That's why we stockpiled it in case there's
Ah, shit, that last one hurt. Oh,
Language.
that Oh, I felt that in the back of my
Well,
throat.
that's also one of the reasons why I bought a 20-pound bag of salt.
Just buy damn salt like in $20. Like 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Or
In
no,
case-
they're like 20 pounds.
Well, no, we have it just in case if the world ever goes, south. I have something to trade.
Yeah, I have tons of salt, Jason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not tons. I don't think it weighs that much, but maybe a couple 100 pounds of salt. And then I have the pink salt from Himalayas
Oh,
and
the
all
pink,
that stuff.
Himalayan salt's worth the
Yeah, with the expiration
literally
date.
worth its salt in weight.
And it has the expiration date.
Yeah, but
Somebody explain that to me. How the hell does salt have an expiration date when it's been on Earth for like millions of years? And yet we're still harvesting this crap out of the ground. I'm like, no, salt does not have an expiration date unless it gets introduced to moisture.
Oxygen and moisture to kill it.
yeah, but the whole point is that salt is one of the most important preps that you can have. As a prepper and survivalist or a bushcrafter, salt is never going to go away.
Yeah.
What do? Salt the pork, salt the beef, salt whatever to preserve it, right?
Covered in enough salt and the shit don't go bad.
Right, exactly. And
Well,
the human body needs it.
We need
It needs
small.
more-
We don't need like huge quantities of salt to survive. We just need a little bit here and there. Oh, God damn it.
Actually, that's not true. You need a lot of salt to survive.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of the most important elements that you can have in your preps is salt. People, I have flour, I have pasta, I have this and that, but salt is one of the most important things. And sugar, you really don't need a lot of sugar.
I got equal amounts of salt and sugar in this thing. Because God knows how much salt's in a damn bouillon cube. They put a crap ton in there.
Yes, they do. And also that's another point I want to make. Instead of buying the liquid bouillon like chicken stock and beef stock and stuff like that, you get the powdered form. You can always make your own stock out of that, and it takes
Yep.
a lot less shelf space.
I get the cubes. They're already pretty much just 2 cubes per every cup is what you need essentially. Well, it also depends on how thick you want it, but yeah.
I just buy the big containers of it because, I can get a big old gallon size thing of it, and that will last you, and you'll take less shelf space on yourself if you do that, Cliff, instead of trying to get all the liquid stuff or the bulk.
No, I don't buy any of the liquid stuff. I usually get, like I said, I buy the containers that come with the little packages of the cubes. So I always get those ones. Or you can get the, Better Than Bouillon, which is kind of technically like a paste.
Well, I like that better.
Yeah, those ones last a good long, those containers last a good long while, too, as long as you have them refrigerated. They're not really shelf stable once you open them. You have to keep them somewhere nice and cool. But the cubes, or even, I ran over a rock again, like these ones. Like these ones,
Yeah.
like these guys, even these guys here, these ones are, they put an expiration date technically on here, or where is it at? This one says August 2025, essentially, but like, to be honest, it's already a compressed cube of whatever. They're already sealed in containers, like foil packaging, not hermetically sealed foil packaging. But this stuff honestly does not go bad. Well,
It
to
might
an
taste funny.
extent. But yeah, I mean, that's your packaging on these things. That's no bigger than old school, like bubble gum, like a big old thing of like bubble yum or whatnot.
I honestly just want to get the tubs of it, the gallon things of it, and beef, bowling, and stuff like that. I love Italian, and I buy a lot of Italian and stuff like that. The whole point is that it takes less room to store it in your prep situation. And there's things you can talk about press, but one of the biggest things is are you gonna have enough food that everything goes to crap if the currency collapses? And they're planning on another Bretton Woods in 1948 again and
I've got
reset the
at
currency.
least a
And they're
6
gonna
to 8
steal
month
everything you have.
supply.
They're gonna steal everything you have on that thing. They're gonna reset the currencies, and what you have is what you're gonna have. So if you don't own the property, you don't own your car and your house and whatever.
Yeah, if the currency resets and all that stuff goes, it's just not going to matter who owns what.
Yeah.
Because
Nothing can.
they won't have the authority to repossess my vehicle at that time.
Yeah, because you own it.
No, I don't own my vehicle at the moment, but even if the currency reset next week, they ain't going to be able to take my damn truck. They can
Well,
try,
you know what?
but to become fertilizer.
You know what? They tried that back in that banking problem, and the savings and loans went away, and then 7 or 8 years later, they turned around and said, "Well, you owe this much money, pay up, or we're going to take your house," and they did it. Even though that savings and loan went bankrupt, somebody bought the contract, and they actually came and took your houses. They took your cars.
Yes.
They can try, but I've got enough. I've got between myself and ain't nobody gonna know what I'm doing out in the neighbor's field, or out in the unoccupied field at 2 o'clock in the morning when there's no lights over there in the back corner. Ain't nobody
You
gonna
mean
know what I'm doing.
You mean you're just keeping your rolls of carpet secure?
For all they know, I'm digging a hole to shit in.
Well, Rob, I've got my brother over there in UK with his wife and kids, and I got like second, third, fourth, and fifth cousins
What
over
part
there.
of the UK?
Just north of London.
Cool.
I'm not going to get an exact address, but I have family here in the US, I have family in the UK, and I have family in Canada.
Nice.
So it's not exactly like I'm not, whatever, but I understand, and I'm just waiting for my brother to call me. It's like, get me the fuck out of here, give me help. You know what I'm saying? It's like, military help. Get him out of there, but with his family. But he's not. He doesn't listen very well, does he? No. You know what I mean, mate?
I'm not sure where I'd rather be right now, to be honest.
Well, to be honest,
US, I'm not sure.
well, you understand what I'm saying, though, is that I don't trust what's going on over in the UK right now, and Canada's just being a scrambled thing over the eastern part of it. I'm kind of worried about my area over there.
I mean, do you know what? I don't think anyone knows what's actually going on over here right now. It just seems to be like the biggest family feud in living history.
Yes.
The problem is they're all fighting effectively on the same side. It's like they've all turned up to a party with their own ball, but don't want to let anyone play with it. It's
like a one-sided soccer game.
I just try not to follow it anymore because it just does my head in.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous right now over there, and in most of Europe, I'm just looking at them going like, what the hell? But I'm looking over here too, and I got a call from a friend in Virginia and his wife Mary, and they're getting the hell out of Virginia because it's going nuts there,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in Virginia either.
No, he doesn't want to either. He's coming to Arkansas. They're looking at places around here.
I don't know if moving over there is any better, to be honest.
Oh hell, I live out in those sticks, Cliff, and I'm surrounded by cows and rolling hills, and nobody bothers me, and I don't hear any noise unless the kids are going to school in the morning or come back. That's about it.
I was going to say
Yeah,
that
no
that's
problem.
what appeals to me about the countryside.
And I never had to move. If I never wanted to move, but the girlfriend lives down the road about 20 miles, and she bought a nice little place over there by lakes and stuff like that. And she's been hinting at a roommate, and I went over and gave her flowers, and she was sick, so I kind of brought her over food and everything. We had a good time.
That's nice, kind of you.
I'm gonna have another one. I don't know.
But she's a widow too. I'm a widower twice. She's a widower, once. And I'm not pushing the damn thing. Okay.
That's exactly why I'm never gonna get married.
Hey man, if
Waste of time, waste of money.
you find happiness, you got to grab it with both hands.
Yeah, I've been married twice. Okay.
If I find happiness, I'm taking a picture. That way, it'll last longer.
I've been married twice, Cliff, and the last one lasted almost 18 years before she died of cancer. Okay. But
Sorry, guys, I'm getting tired.
Jason, have another beverage.
No.
Except for I know you because you got to work in the morning.
You've got to work in the morning.
I'm having me another one because tomorrow's gonna be dead as shit anyway, so I ain't gonna do much.
yeah. Rob, it's just I was very happy with the first and second wife, and they both passed on me. I've never been divorced. I never had any of that problem. But the thing is, yeah. Good night,
Are
Jason.
you out, Jason?
Yeah.
Not Jason.
Have a good night at work.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, Molly. Have a good one.
Good night.
I will see you guys later.
Night, Molly.
Look like,
Don't let that guy
Cecilia's
go
not as
because
well.
he loves you.
Good night, Cecilia. Be well, be safe.
The thing is, Rob, is that you find a good woman or a good man or whatever, depending on what sex you are, and you don't quit. You know what I'm saying?
No. Well, this is it. The modern generation do not understand the idea of sitting down and talking. They don't work through stuff. They throw it away and start again.
Oh, we actually do business together. We do the flea market. We're actually scheming about what we're going to do this spring. And so we got several things we're doing. She's totally into medicinal, medicine and stuff like that. And I'm actually into it to myself. And so we're planning on raising these certain plants.
That's
And
good.
doing
That's
certain
awesome. Over here, I mean, I see it through working because, couples have an argument, they break up rather than just sitting down and being like, right, what's actually going on? People need to go back to the old ways.
What do you mean,
Well-
punching the shit out of each other until they solve their problems?
I said the old ways, not the American ways.
The old ways was you trying to survive, feed your kids,
Yeah,
and
Wasn't the old way if you had a disagreement, you shot the other one and then buried him back in the back 40?
that's only
Yeah.
on relatives.
And that was
not
the
your wife.
resolvement of the problem?
That was your relatives, not your wife.
Yeah, but
And
yeah,
that's-
people used to sit down and talk about problems.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
don't
it's,
throw it away.
we really don't like the drama either one of us. We're like we talk about positive stuff, like we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and it's like I'm
Awesome.
dealing with a business planner. You know what I mean? On top
Yeah.
of that, and it's like, do I have to worry about money? Not really. You have no idea how much money I really have, but neither. She came from a rich family too, but some of the other marriages, I had to hide the money from the wife because she would just spend the hell out of it.
That's what women do when you marry them.
Oh yeah,
Make
I love
money and
Macy's.
Spend it.
I love Macy's. Okay, take her to Macy's and find out how much you're gonna lose that night. But whatever. But
I'll take him to Macy's.
it's like my dad gave me some good advice here, and he said, women, they like to spend money. But you really have to rein it in and just, make them very happy and, turn around once in a while, give them a gift. So sometimes I would just leave, I told her, well, I'm not going to do the laundry because I'm doing all the cooking because you're fired from the kitchen after 1 year because you suck. She didn't argue with me on that. So she did the laundry. She did the laundry. Okay. No, I'm not kidding. I'm a great cook. In fact, I probably could be a master chef on some show. But sometimes I just leave $100 bill in my pocket, in one of my pants. She'd go, "Did you know you left $100 bill?" I said, "Well, you know what, hon? I told you. That's if you find some money in my pockets, it's all yours." And about 15 minutes later, she put her makeup on and ran away, and went and bought a bunch of crap. So there you go. One time I left her $500, just for fun.
Yeah, I ain't doing that for nobody. Screw that shit.
Well, that's, I talked to a trucker one time. He had 3 ex-wives and he's paying $2,400 on child support. And he wondered why he didn't have a great life. And it's because he didn't actually listen to his wife. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
No, it's not that he didn't listen to his wife. He listened to his pee-pee more than anything else.
No, it's not that. He just didn't
He's
listen.
got 3 ex-wives. He listened to his pee-pee more than his first wife.
Whatever. I'm just telling you. You make the wife happy, your life is going to be happy. I'm telling you. And, sometimes if they're a spender, just have to, rein it in and tell them, you know what? Yeah. We only got this so much money to spend this month. And then they know what their budget is. And they run it that way, Cliff. I'm serious with you. And, 2 successful marriages, never been divorced. But I'm telling you right now that, when you have a certain amount of money, you tell them how much they can spend. This is the budget, and sometimes they have dumb ideas. You have to listen to it. And sometimes they listen to it and they will just go ahead and do it anyway. You have to figure out, solve the problem. My dad said, "Yes, dear." And that was very, very nice, to actually remember what he said. If they're going to be dumb, they're not going to be listening to you. When they screw up, you have to figure out how to fix it because you're the man. Okay? Sorry.
Glad I'm single.
Well, I thought you liked that little girl, Amanda, over there.
Yeah, not in that way.
Well, what do you think's going to happen if she does come over here, dude? You gotta deal with it, okay?
She comes over here. She comes over here. It's not like we're going to be doing the nasty 24/7.
No, it's not about that, man. It's about, understanding about your spouse. I mean,
She wouldn't be my spouse. She doesn't see me that way either.
My girlfriend, her husband was totally irresponsible with money. She had to watch all the money and control the money. My second wife, which passed away, back in 2017, she loved money and she loved to spend money, but she wasn't responsible with money. Who do you think had to do that?
The IRS.
No, me. I didn't tell her how much I was making because if she knew how much I was making, she would have gone to Macy's every day. Okay, trust me. You have to have somebody that's in control of the money and somebody that that wants the money. And I'm relieved. Like, this girl is like got her head on square and she knows about money and she's not going to go out there to Macy's and spend it every day. She's got a ton of money. That's what I like about her a lot, but I digress. You can have your own opinion about relationships and everything, but it is kind of screwed up at your age and it even gets worse at my age. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, I'd rather be single and be broke myself than be married with somebody or with somebody and be broke together. At least only one person is suffering at this point.
I'm not suffering, and neither is she. And we're both doing fine. And I'm like, maybe this will be the third one. Because, my dating profile is got 2 late wives and looking for number 3. It's like,
Yeah, I should have stopped after the second one, in my opinion. I should have stopped after the second one, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, you know what?
They say the third was it third strike is the charm or whatever than that. But yeah, sometimes after the second strike, yeah, you just give up.
I haven't struck out yet, so I'm hoping this one's gonna be number 3. And we've been dating for like almost 2 years now, so there you go. And she's hitting on a roommate, so I need a roommate. So
I both do and don't.
Look, guys, I'm going to jump off. I need to get some work done.
Alrighty.
Not
What are you
too
doing,
sure.
Rob?
You doing work? What is this all about?
What are you doing,
Yeah.
Rob?
Same thing he does every day,
I'm
What does he
actually
do?
At, yeah. I'm actually
Work.
at work
like the rest of us.
dealing with the interesting characters of society.
Yeah, well, work to me is like getting up and like clicking the button with my finger and making $300
Yeah, that's not
for
work.
2 minutes. Yeah, it is.
Believe me, I wish mine was like that.
It's
Well,
like sitting on the couch and flipping through the TV channels.
yeah,
I get to
Well-
keep people safe.
I actually just sit there and mostly, my broker accounts, stuff like that. I pretty much just let them run on their own little neutral thing. But I've been doing prop firms lately, and I've been pretty happy with one of them that I've found. And they actually, you prove you can make money, they fund you, and then they just pay you out like every day or every 5 days. And so I'm doing pretty good with that.
Well, it's been a pleasure as always, gentlemen.
Yes, sir, Rob. Be well, be safe. Don't
I'll
get too
speak to you
moist
all
over
soon.
there.
I'll try not to. I'll speak to you later.
Have a good
Take
one.
care, mate.
Bye now.
So there's a lot of ways to make money. I mean, I've had several side gigs since I was 30, and even selling seeds, I did that for a while. I didn't make a lot of money selling seeds.
Well, you're never going to unless you sell trillions of seeds at once, because majority of the time you're spending what $1.99 to maximum $3.99 for a pack of 10, 15 seeds.
Yeah,
it's not exactly a lucrative business.
no, and the fact that all the seeds I ever sold was actually ones I actually grew. So,
That's how most seeds are sold.
huh?
That's how most seeds are sold. If you can't sell them if you don't grow them or if they're not grown.
Yeah, and
Can't sell that which does not exist.
you got to do germination tests on them. And I'd never sold anything that it didn't have at least a 90% germination rate. So I had to do germination rate tests, stuff like that. I have a good sized amount of seeds where I could supply a city of 50,000 people with victory gardens. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's the problem with the germination tests, though. The germination test might work in your area, but might necessarily work in somebody else's climate.
Yeah, there is actually a generalization where you actually have to grow the seeds there first before they actually will take root. You know what I mean? And that is true. I'm not going to lie to you about that one. But
Yeah, because you can't say zone 7 germination rate. You say we'll say for instance you're in what 6 or 7.
7B right now.
Okay, so you're about the same zone as I am, basically across the board. So you can't say that a zone 7B germination rate in your area of, we'll say 95%, is going to be the same germination rate in, say, zone 4A at the same values. You're going to get a completely different germination rate regardless of what your zone says your seeds are at.
Well, that is true. And the last zone I was in was 5A, so there you go. But so far I've had a pretty good successful thing on that. But my whole point is that you should try to garden. You should learn more you can.
I'm already gardening. I've been doing it for 5 years.
Oh, I know. I've been 50 years. And you know what? I did it wrong for the first 20, almost 30 years. But, it's a good effort. And, if people learn something from what we teach them, that's a good thing. Because if they have to grow food on their own and things get really tough, that is a good thing, Cliff. It is a good thing.
Well, I definitely try to grow my own food. It's just a matter of if I wish I just had a bigger footprint, but it is what it is. And this really sucks. Good Lord, I feel like I got a like child's bladder tonight. I'll be back in just a second, folks.
He's got a baby bladder.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
But one thing is that I was growing cucumbers last year, and most people said I did not even get hardly any cucumbers. I was getting like 15, 20 pounds a day, just canning like crazy, making pickles. And they're like, "How do you do that?" And I was like, "I don't know. Maybe I ought to come over and learn how to garden." And they didn't get it. They just did not get it. I started talking about NPK soil levels. I talked about pH levels, and well, what test kit did you use? And I was like, well, I just picked up the dirt, tested it with my mouth, and that's the way I figured it out. And I was like, oh, no way, but most people don't have that life experience to do that, and so you should get some, test level kits for pH and what's in the soil, because if you don't test what's in the soil, you don't know what you can grow. I mean, I've had people tell me year after year after year, I can't get my carrots to grow. Well, where'd you plant it? Well, I did this and that, and I put some manure in there. It's like, oh yeah, great job.
Yeah, too much fertilizer
much
for the carrots. Yeah, you can't put that much. You when they start growing, yes, but you can only add the fertilizer after I think it's like week 4.
No, you can't put manure in your carrot garden because it needs an NPK level of 5, like 15, 15 or 20, 20.
You can add manure, but again, you have to wait like 4 to 6 weeks.
You got to wait for the nitrogen level to go down, because you can have a nitrogen level above 5. So if you're trying to grow carrots on that and you don't have loose soil and stuff like that, and I have had so many people ask me about that, about carrots. Why are my carrots so small? Why are they failing? Why are they not growing?
Soil's too fucking dense.
It's too dense with nitrogen, and it's not loose enough to grow.
I wouldn't even necessarily say it's dense with nitrogen. The problem is your soil is too dense. For carrots to get really decent size, you have to have loose, airy soil. If your soil is too packed, your carrots will not grow because they have a hard time forcing their way through the
If you grow it next to the wrong plant too, if you don't have the right companion plants, it can also make it very small. So,
I don't companion plant with carrots because I know the way carrots grow. It's a tuber. They're similar to potatoes. You have to have loose soil for them to grow.
Yeah, but potatoes like high nitrogen and carrots don't. Okay, so there you go. So you have to be very smart about how you plant your garden and what you put in it.
That's why when I plant carrots, I usually plant them by themselves because you don't really need to plant. So, I mean, you can do carrots with like radishes because they'll kind of like work off of each other. They'll provide the shade that they need between the two, like symbiotically. But aside from that, you don't really want to plant too much within the scale of those kinds because, again, anything that has roots that spread out versus roots that normally grow down, you don't want them to intermix. So you don't want to plant your carrots next to your beans because, well, okay, correction on that one. So you can plant your carrots with your beans, but they have to be a good, decent amount of spacing away so they don't overcrowd, because you do not want the roots of your beans to potentially wrap around your carrots. No, they will feed off of each other, again, because you've got the nitrogen producer versus that which consumes the nitrogen.
Yeah, but the carrots don't like the nitrogen. They like a 5 level on the nitrogen level instead of 20 or 10.
Well, they're a more neutral one for carrots, though.
Well, you got to be careful with your peppers and your tomatoes too, because they don't like anything over 10. Okay.
You can't even grow. The funny thing with that one is you can't even grow peppers and tomatoes in the same area because they will kill each other.
No, they won't.
I've grown peppers and tomatoes in the same spot, and they do not like growing next to each
I
other.
have, but you got to watch out for the vining tomatoes. You can grow the bush tomatoes and stuff like that. Like Roma tomatoes. But a lot of them really don't like each other that well either. And so you're actually kind of correct on that.
Like you can do like peppers, like hot peppers and like bell peppers because again they're part of the same family. But tomatoes and bell peppers or tomatoes and hot peppers, like I said, I've done that before, and they do not like growing next to each other.
Well, you don't want to grow the hot peppers next to the bell peppers because you're gonna get a mix because they're actually they're self-pollinating like
Yeah, they
tomatoes.
self-pollen. Yeah, I understand that one.
Yeah.
Which now, if you're trying for a crossbreed, yes, you can do that. But if you're trying to say, I think the recommended distance for growing peppers separately. So if you want like hot peppers and bell peppers, I
About
think
20,
they say
30
the
feet.
minimum distance to grow between them is like 6 feet. That way you do not risk any sort of cross contamination or cross pollination.
It's more like 20, 30 feet, by the way. But
Yeah.
same thing with different varieties of tomatoes, because otherwise you're going to get raw speed. 'Cause it depends on the wind in your area, by the way. So, because they're self-pollinated by the wind, so you got to be really careful. And you don't want to put it in the same down thing as your wind. So whichever way your wind blows, gently.
If you have a greenhouse, there's no real direction of wind because it's in a more or less protected area.
And we're
You
talking
have
about
air
outside.
flow, but you don't have like wind direction.
But it's just you have to think about companion plants. You have to think about the soil NPK levels. You have to think about the pH levels. You have to think about the wind, because a lot of honestly, about 70% of the food that's grown on the earth is actually pollinated by the wind. It's self-pollinated.
Oh yeah, corn is definitely a
Corn.
wind-blown pollination because you have the
Right.
tassels that grow on top, which are basically they look like Christmas trees, but they have like all the pollen, and then you have the tassels on the bottom, which need the pollen to germinate. To me, which makes no sense because you've got something that essentially has like an 8-inch long tuber or fiber, basically like a hair, and somehow that the one little piece of pollen that somehow touches that hair manages to travel down the entire stalk of that fiber to pollinate the corn kernel.
Yeah, that's the whole point. 70%
That seems
of
a little odd to me, in my opinion.
70% of our food is actually self-pollinated by the wind. And you have to be careful with corn. You have to be careful with wheat. You have to be careful with rice. It can make magical mysteries, happen.
I don't have the. I would like to try to grow rice. The only problem is I have no physical means of starting a rice paddy.
Oh, they actually have them when you head out to Jonesboro from my place, about 50 miles down the road. They actually have rice fields.
But again, if you look at the size of a rice field, they are massive. I do not have the property value.
Oh, no. You need acres and
rice field.
acres. You need acres and acres to grow.
If I could do maybe like a 20-foot by 100-foot long rice paddy, even doing that would take me probably a decade just to produce enough rice to only maybe at best last for an entire 6 months worth of consumption.
Well, you wouldn't want to grow rice anyway. What you want to grow is wild rice. It's more nutritional and everything else.
I'd be better off growing wheat down here.
You'd be better growing amaranth. Amaranth was before wheat was ever commercialized. In amaranth, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the stems, you can eat the seeds, and you can also eat the flowers. It's actually better than rice or wheat.
Speaking of
So-
sweet potatoes, Deb, I actually need to try to grow some again. Hopefully this season I can actually get a decent amount growing. Because I'll have an entire bed. 2 of the garden beds I actually plan on rebuilding this season. I do not like the way they turned out last season when I built them. So I'm going to rebuild them the same way I did my 3x5 system that I had the new one from last season, or I started it in like June, July. I plan on rebuilding the 2 garden beds that I have over by the meter. Again, I do not like the way they turned out. I sort of rush jobbed them when I built them because I had limited time, limited hours in a day. So I'm going to rebuild them like I did my other one.
I want to ask you, what's your eventual goal with the gardening and everything else?
I have no freaking idea, to be honest. I'm just kind of winging this shit day by day, year by year. I've never physically had an actual goal in life to get anywhere. Majority of my shit's just been day by day, week by week, month by month. I just kind of by the hip.
Well, I've never been handed anything either, Cliff. So there you go.
It's not that I'm not handy. I just don't have an actual physical game plan. I just kind of do shit by the whim of whatever the hell I want to do that day.
So my whole point is that what's your eventual goal within 5 years?
I'm already done with the 5 years. I'm on year fucking 6 right now.
But what are you going to do in the future of your life? I mean,
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't have a game plan. Most people, by the time they're a certain age, they have yearly goals. They want to accomplish this. I don't know. Again, I live majority of my lifespan is by the hip, day by day, whatever, paycheck to paycheck. I have no actual physical goals in life other than making it to the next fucking day.
well, you know what? When I was young, I wanted to be a pilot, and at 15, I found out I had very poor vision. So that a jet fighter pilot was off the table at 15, and then at 18, I wanted to be an electrician, and they had affirmative action. They had enough of us, us kind of guys. I was forced to go to college, and so I said, I'm going to be a material science engineer. And then I figured out they don't have a lot of jobs in that. So I turned around and became an electrical engineer. Okay. And then after that, I found out that I had to work 70, 100 hours a week to make a, measly $50,000, $60,000 a year thing.
And I'm just making 50, 60 grand a year. I'll make like 30, I'm at like 38 to 40 roughly on a good year.
That was back in 2000 area. And
fuck, back in 2000, I was making like 60, almost 63K a year, depending on the year.
And we joked about, we're working for minimum wage doing that. So I got into web development and consultation, IT, programming, and stuff like that. And the whole thing is that, I built several side businesses with it and everything else. And my whole point is that, you make what you can make of what you got. And I've been buying properties and selling them, making money off that, also in real estate. So you might want to think about what you're doing. And I know that, you got a job, you're a manager of a pizza place. I know that. But think about what you can do for a side gig that will make you more money or start making you more money. And I think that actually would be a good way to go.
I ain't got the time to deal with stuff like that. Aspect wise, I'm not really tech savvy, so doing stuff on that level, I'm more of a hands-on person, but at the same time, I just don't have the time to be a lot of hands-on because again, I work, come home, I'm either on a live stream, hosting a live stream, or trying to keep my garden alive.
Right. Well, the first thing I thought about when I first started was I wanted to be an electrician, but they had enough of us, type of people like me.
Yeah, I don't got enough time to go through a damn trade school to be either one of those.
Not
considered doing,
anymore.
like, plumbing, like be a licensed plumber. That way, if there's ever an emergency during the nighttime, hey, call me. I can go do this. But again, that's going through trade school, going through any sort of the arts, whatnot required for all of that shit. And again, I just do not have the time and patience to deal with
Well,
shit.
my point is that you have enough life skills to actually start side gigs, and even if you're doing all this stuff and running the pizza place, you probably have enough life skills to actually figure it out. Okay,
I do. I just don't want to apply myself. That's the problem.
well,
You know what they
that's
say? Application is the key to success. And yeah, I don't know.
no, it's what you want to do. I mean, it's up to you.
Again, that's just one thing. I never really had any life goals to begin with, even when I was a teenager.
Well, my life goal today is like
Making it to the next day.
no, just enjoying my life and doing what I want to do, and that's what I do. So
I work and garden. That's
I love
to be honest,
gardening.
gardening is I've kind of at the last few years. That's something that I kind of enjoy. It's stressful, but not as stressful as what I was doing before. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than playing MTG for that. That's for damn sure.
Well, one of the things I do love is I actually do love gardening, so I do it all the time, and I'm very enthusiastic about it. And I try to introduce new stuff to you that I'm doing, and I think that maybe you're happy about learning about it. But
Yeah, I do enjoy the random bits of information of like random seeds that I've never heard of in my area that other people grow. Like I've got no problems with the new information when it comes to the gardening aspect. If you've got a seed that's in your area, I'm like, cool. Learning the little bit of 5-10 minutes worth of information on that is kind of nifty.
yeah,
Whether
and
or
I'm
not I can grow that in my area is a whole nother standard. But at the same time, I can only grow so much.
well, if
Yeah.
if these new seeds that I'm actually introducing to you that actually produce and do a good thing, I'm gonna sit there and do a video about it and
And
tell
those are
people
those
it's
are
good.
the wing beans that you're talking about, right? Or the Rocco, whatever.
Yeah, the Roco hot peppers and the wing beans. The wing beans actually they grow in piss ass soil and they produce a very nitrogen rich soil where you can plant your corn or whatever you're going to grow next year. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus you
Well,
can
that's
eat.
why I was growing that Indian melon that I was growing. I was doing really good on that. I've got tons of seeds for it. I even let one just grow until the plant died, and that's actually just sitting in the spot where my roses are. So we'll see if anything pops up from that next season.
Well,
I've
that's
also got one decaying in the front garden bin, but at the same time, it's like certain plants in my area or certain plants that I've grown before, I'd rather grow those because I know I've gotten a good yield off of them the previous season or like 2 seasons
well,
before.
exactly, and it's the same in the area, but I'm also saying that once you see success on that, you could be growing mini seeds for that and probably just putting them out there and selling them as a side business or, as a hobby. But, you have opportunities to do things you want to do. You just have to do it.
Yeah, I gotta have time to do it though. That's the problem. That's my
Yeah.
biggest problem is time.
Yes.
Between work and what I do, I don't necessarily always have the time frame, especially during wintertime. I get off of work, it's already dark outside. There's not exactly much I can do outside of that. Once summertime hits, when I get off of work, I have anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of work time, which is usually cut in half due to the fact that 4 days out of the week, I'm on a live stream somewhere for somebody.
But my whole point is that, you actually enjoy what you do. And that's the most important thing.
I do. I honestly, I really enjoy gardening. Over the last 5 years, it's kind of overlapped what I want to do for camping, survival, bushcraft stuff because, again, survival kind of ends in the realm of gardening, but like bushcraft and camping, not kind of really in the realm of any of that.
Yeah, there's things you can forage and you can learn about foraging. And, for instance, like over here in Arkansas, there's like 32 or 34 mushrooms you can get out of the wild and just, eat them and be safe, But, I don't plan on running away from my house anytime soon. And
Same here because I can do more here than I can 40 miles away because I've already got stuff established in this area.
The only reason why I'd run away from my house is with the go bag or whatever. It's the fact that I had to,
Yeah, I figured this way. If I have to leave my house, that's under one or two reasons. Because my house burned down, which, God forbid that actually happened, because I would say 80% of this house is solid, earth-rammed home. So the only thing that's going to burn down is the internal structure and the roof, and maybe the windows because of the framework. But aside from that, I live in essentially would damn near be considered a bomb-proof house minus the windows.
A bunker, yeah. And,
the walls, majority of the walls of my house are 14 to 16 inches thick.
Yeah, and my whole
Ain't
point
nothing
is
getting through that other than cannon fire.
my whole point is that, just hone in your garden skills and keep it going and educate and prepare people and inform them, because the whole thing about this is that we want people to know how to grow their own food and have the seeds and stuff and the ability to do that. That's been my whole thing about my whole channel in the first place is that, if some disaster happens, I want people to be prepared, informed, and educated, and know how to do it.
I try to be as prepared as physically possible, or what I can be within the 5-year limit. Technically at this point it's 6 years because technically I started in 2019, but that was like the summer of 2019. So I guess technically 7 years is what I'm at now. But again, I started small, and every year I've almost pretty much doubled what I'm doing.
Yeah, back in 2001, I think I put out my first video on YouTube, and it was about content management systems, and I tried to help people and all this stuff, but it got a little bit boring after a while. And then I moved into this realm and other realms and conspiracy theories and all that stuff. But it's what you want to do, and if your life's working for you, that's great. You know what I'm saying? If you're comfortable with where you're at, that's great.
I'm not 100% comfortable where I'm at. It's just where I'm currently at this point. If I could make an extra $15,000 a year, that would probably be more comfortable for me, but I'm living on the means that I have. So I do with what I have. I make do with what I have.
Yeah, but the whole point is that I've always worked on doing my own side gigs. So I'm not promoting anything here. But one thing I have done in the past is had a lot of side gigs, and I'm still doing that. But I just put it in a different market. I'm still growing food. I'm still growing gardens. I'm still doing everything I'm talking about. I just don't show it anymore that much. But my point is that, I still garden. I still do my thing. And I still make plenty of food. And I can a lot of food every year. And I pack away a lot of food every year.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't have enough time for is canning because again I work day shift, I get off in the evenings, and I don't have time for that shit. I can only do so much during my daytime, and unfortunately most of the stuff I want to do I can't do. I don't have a 24-hour day. It would be nice if I had 24-hour days, but then again I don't live in Alaska, so I got maximum of like 16 hours, maybe 14-hour days from when I wake up to when I go to bed.
Well, you do you. I mean, it's up to you. And
I do
you,
me as much as I can. The problem is, again, I don't have my situation's not 100% where I'd like it to be, but at the same time, it's again, I can only do as much as I
well,
can.
if I'm going to if I'm going to criticize you, I'm going to say one thing. You've done a lot of great things for a lot of people and show them how to grow things, and you've done very successful things. So I'm not going to fault you on that, and I'm not going to say that you're this or that. I'm just going to tell you that I'm very appreciative of what you've done, and I'm very proud of you. Okay.
No, that's the one thing I do like to do. I mean, I try to be as real as physically possible on my channel, and I like to try to help out those that are starting off brand new that don't have a lot of knowledge. You get a lot of these channels that are 500,000, half, a million people, or 1.5 million subscribers. And you get them like once every 6-8 months, they try to be like, oh, well, here's what you need to do as a new gardener.
Yeah.
I try to do that as much as physically possible. Because
And I'll sit there and call,
Cliff,
I'll sit there and call bullshit on them too, because they actually are just prepper channels that actually, I have no respect for, because they have no idea how to do this stuff.
Yeah, they know how to prep, but at the same time, a lot of those prepper channels don't know how to. Now, there are a few exceptions on a lot of those prepper channels that do both the gardening aspect and the prepper aspect. Yes. I'm not going to specifically name any channels, but there is one channel I do follow who works on both principles, both gardening and preparation. But, if you know the channel, you know the channel. But considering the fact that I've probably only got about 3 people watching me, actually not even that, I've only got like maybe, I think the only one that's left in here might be Grace, you, and myself.
Well, the one thing I'm going to tell you though is that you actually know how to grow stuff, and you're pretty successful at it, and so am I. And we're not going to argue about that.
Nope.
What I'm saying is that I'm saying that eventually this will leak out to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, eventually. I mean, it like, again, I do seed saving. So if there's ever an emergency, if I have to, I will plant 90% or 70% of the seeds that I have just to grow more produce. If it's only one product, I look at it this way. That 70% planting rate, even if I have 60% germination rate, I'm still going to grow.
My point is, real honestly, at this point, is that you're showing people how to grow things. It's a positive thing, and you should be doing that. And you've shown success on that, and that's actually a good thing. And I'm surprised that you don't have more followers than this.
You're not the only one that said that. I've had a few people that have like surpassed me in subs that have been like, I don't know why you're not at like 3,000 to 5,000 subs at this point.
Maybe around 2,000, but I don't care. I if they learn something from me, and somebody actually gets real knowledge and they learn stuff.
I think a lot of it is just basically content. If the more content I put out, the more people I'll get. The problem is half the time, again, when I'm doing stuff in my yard, I don't have the opportunity. Well, I do, but I don't. I prefer when I'm in working, I just prefer to get it done instead of trying to sit there and film what I'm doing, because
the worst thing I hate,
shit to do.
The worst thing I hate is, oops, I screwed up.
I don't mind filming the failures of my gardening, because that's an aspect of gardening. You're gonna fail.
What I hate is the oops, the drama thing that they put in there. Oops, I screwed up and I didn't know you were supposed to do this and supposed to do that. And, that's annoying to me, because you should know how to garden and you should know how to do things right.
Anybody that says you should know how to garden has never gardened before. And I hate to do this, but God almighty, I hate when I drink too much at night, because I know you're going to give me shit on this one, considering what your
You go to the bathroom so I can give you shit.
Ugh.
I'm going to flush the toilet right now. He does a lot of good things, and on top of that, he does a lot of good things and shows you his failures and his successes. And the thing is that you need to learn how to garden. I don't have a green thumb. Okay, well, you don't have a green thumb. Well, guess what? You don't have to have a green thumb. You just have to follow the method and the process and to get that stuff into your system. And there's certain things you can grow and certain things you can't. And you have to learn about the soil. You have to learn about the pH. You have to learn about the fertilizers. There's several things that you have to learn about, and in the soil and everything you're preparing things in, and I think he's done a good job in that. So, I want to give him shit tonight, and I'm going to give him a thumbs up. Okay, so there you go. And that's all there is to it, because he's done a great job. And so what he's done, you should listen to him. I've done a lot of things in the past that totally screwed up too. I started from square zero. I've only been planting since I was 5 years old. And I want to tell you right now, it's not an easy game. So there you go. Yeah, I totally wrecked you, dude.
Mainly the one thing y'all need to know about me is during the daytime, I hardly drink any liquids, but when I get home at night, that's when I start hydrating because...
Yeah, I totally wrecked you with the whole channel, man. Okay.
Well, you probably did.
I told them how good of a guy you are and how you actually just show your real process and all that crap. So there you go.
I try to be as real as Sean used to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, I'm being honest with you. You're doing a good job, and I really appreciate your work, and I do learn some stuff from you too. By the way, I could say I'm
actually shocked on that you learned something from me here and there.
I'm actually a master gardener, but I actually did learn stuff from you, and I actually, you've done a good job with the community, and I think that you should be admonished for it. As far as congratulated. And there's a lot of people that oops, I screwed up this, I screwed up that, and then they're like, I don't know this figured out, and
yeah, they always edit that stuff. That's the problem, though.
Yeah.
Which is again why I said I like to be as real and upfront about what I do in my garden as physically possible. Most of the stuff I'm filming by myself. I don't really have anybody to be like, oh, I'm going to film you while you're doing this. Do what you got to do. If I'm not filming it, it's because I'm too damn busy. If I do film it, most of the time it's because I either screwed up or I have enough time to actually physically film.
A lot of times now I don't have time to film all that stuff myself, which I always did. And the thing is that yes, I'm a very good gardener. I'm not going to lie about that, and I know what I'm doing. But the other thing is that I can only teach people so many things before they actually tune out. You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is that you're doing a great job, and I'm proud of you. Okay, and that's what I was ribbing you on while you were gone. It's like you're doing a great job. So don't worry about it, Cliff. You do what you do, and people will eventually come to you, and they will actually say, "Wow, this guy."
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not too concerned. I mean, it sucks that my numbers are a little lower than where I would have preferred them to be at. After doing 13 years of doing this shit,
Right?
It is what it is. I know there's 1,000 channels out there doing gardening, doing the exact same shit I'm doing. Most of them have a lot of the same climatation that I do. Some of them not in this country, but again, same climatation. It's just it's just like the whole bushcraft community. There is an oversaturation of channels doing the same shit. You spread that out between the millions of users out there, you're only going to get so many new subs every so often.
I honestly, I don't care as long as they get educated, and learn, and do that stuff. That's the only reason why I ever had a channel, just to educate, inform, people and get them prepared.
The only
Okay,
reason
so
why I have a channel is, to be honest, was so I could comment on other channels. But now that now that I'm to the point where I'm at now, I've kind of deviated away from a lot of the bushcraft outdoors channels. I do have a few specific ones that I still keep in contact with, but over the last 2 to 3 years, I've switched over more to the gardening or, growing preparation side of the YouTube community just because I've been doing it more often. It's easier for me to do. It doesn't cost me too damn much to go and do it. And all I got to do is walk out my door and do it.
yeah, well, the whole point of the whole situation where I'm at is like, if I do put out a video, it's pretty important, and it's something they can learn from. I don't do it for money, and I'm not trying to be the next YouTube star, but you know what? Maybe the next YouTube star if you actually, if stuff does hit the fan, and you may be a total star with that, but
If somehow what is it, STHF manages to turn me into the next superstar on YouTube, I'd be shocked as hell. Dead honest, I'd be shocked. But I can almost guarantee there's no way that's going to happen.
well, I'm not worried about it myself. Actually, this is not a side gig for me. It's just I like
To me,
inform.
like, again, yeah, I agree with you there. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not sitting there trying to force people to watch my channel. It's when it happens, it happens.
But when I watch all these other prepper channels and I watch these homestead channels, and they're like, "Oops, we screwed up," and they're doing the drama. They're not doing the real stuff. They're not teaching people a lot about
Yeah, but if
stuff.
you look at a lot of these prepper channels, I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to clown on anybody. These guys have 2 to 3 properties randomly. Yet, yeah, I understand that that's required of a few other things, but at the same time, it's not all of us can afford 2 or 3 different properties around the cities that we live in due to economics or blah blah blah, or the fact that some of these people have multiple incomes. I'm on a single income that nobody's really helping me. I'm just into it for myself. So if I could somehow manage to afford 5 acres of land, I'd be goddamn happy as a clam.
Well, I'll probably buy 5 acres soon here.
I want 10 to 15 maximum, but
Oh, I know. I
minimum,
want a 20 or whatever. But the thing is that what am I going to do with that if I do buy it? And the whole point is that I talked to Natalie about this. That's my girlfriend, by the way. And we got a farm over here across the road from me. I got this house, and we got the house down there, and the other place. And my whole point is that what are we going to do with it? How are we going to market it? How are we going to do whatever? We're talking about the flea market now, just selling, herbal medicine stuff, salves and tinctures and soft pretzels, because I make some of the greatest soft pretzels in the world, pepper jack and jalapeno ones.
Ugh.
Those are pretty good. No, they sell like hotcakes. They get sold like in 15 minutes.
I like standard soft pretzels.
Oh, they work too, but they work in
Yeah,
the
but
south.
you got to look at the I would say the timeline of that. So if you had, say, a minimum of like 20, 25 acres as a young person, you can do a lot of that stuff. But when you get to a increment of time frame down the road, you can only do so much with that land before you're non-existent.
My whole thing is though is that standard farming may not be the method you want to go with. Okay.
Well, I don't necessarily want to do standard farming. I don't want to sit there and plant 40 acres of corn, 40 acres of soybeans,
Well, that's what I'm
40
trying
acres
to
of
tell you.
goddamn potatoes.
When I was a young kid, we lived on a ranch in Montana. It was 40,000 square acres, right? We raised cattle and we raised potatoes. And you probably could get, pretty much locked into the place for like 3 months when the snow fell because there was no snow plows out there. Okay.
Oh yeah, you'd be basically landlocked, or at least property locked
We
until
were.
spring.
We were. So you had to learn how to stock up food and everything else. So you had to be a prepper. Okay.
Yeah, that's what most farmers are essentially, or basic preppers. Yeah, you've got, like you said, you may have 50,000, 100,000 acre property, but at the same time, during the winter times or pre-winter, you had to make sure you had enough meat, potatoes, eggs, or whatnot to last through the winter, so you don't starve to death and die on the property.
Exactly. I mean, we released chickens and we raised hogs and we raised, cattle. But cattle was the big thing. We were a cattle farm, and also potatoes. We raised potatoes mostly because that was the season we could grow them. But you know, depending on what part of the country you're in, that's a different story. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a different story. Over there in New Mexico, you grow a lot of different stuff than that, unless you go north of, Albuquerque, where it's a lot colder and a lot more snow. You know what I'm talking about?
Shit, north of Albuquerque, you basically got to be in like the Raton area, which is like 2.5 hours away, 4 hours away, depending on how you drive.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though, because New Mexico is very diverse on that. I know that.
Yeah, it
Santa
depends
Fe's
on where
totally
you're at
different.
down here. Some days, sometimes you can be in an area that's hotter than shit. You can be in an area that's drier than hell, wetter than hell, or cold as hell. Just depends on exactly where in the state you're actually at.
And then you can get total snowfall over there in northern Mexico.
Well, yeah, that's in the Raton area where you get snow.
Yeah, and it can get like 3 or 4 feet tall or higher. I know that. I've been there. I know the area. But the thing is that what can you do there and how can you do it? And you talk about how you want to do this and that. And, I'm just trying to give you little pointers on that. It's like, where do you want to be? So New Mexico's not a bad area to be. I mean, honestly, in a lot
For
of places.
growing, no. Living can be up in the air on that one, but yeah, no. Growing wise, I've got a fairly long growing season, usually April to damn near December half the time, depending on the season.
Yeah.
But I could grow a lot of stuff down here that most people can't grow in a lot of other states. But
Yeah.
again, that's only because of the warmer climates.
Yeah, it's a growing season I'm talking about. You can have a 3.5 month season, or you can have a good 8 month season.
Shit, my growing season down here honestly starts in about April 7th. And then again, if weather pending, I can grow all the way up to, technically, if you have a greenhouse, you can grow 24/7, 365. But my standard typical growing season is from like April 7th to roughly like November.
Mm-hmm.
9 months, 10 months almost.
When I lived in Washington State over the east side of it, I had my growing season was like 3.5 months. Okay, it wasn't great.
Yeah, that feels like what Canada is. Usually Canada's got about 5, maybe 6 months at absolute peak. But majority of the time, they ain't got shit for growing season, which is why a lot of Canadians that do a lot of growing have either high tunnels or massive greenhouses.
Yeah, that's my whole point. It depends on your growing season. It depends on how fast the temperature rises, because then you can't grow certain other things. Like you said, cilantro, you can't grow it there because by the time you get it going, it bolts.
Yeah, it just gets too damn hot.
It
I got
bolts.
to start that shit in February.
So did you try cilantro, which starts with a C?
Again, I've never even heard of it.
Well, take a look at it.
Can't grow it
and
if I've never heard of it.
Take a look at it. Take a look at it. It will grow during hot and cold weather, not bolt, and has a similar taste to cilantro. So maybe you can capitalize on that. Cilantro with a U instead of an I.
Biennial tropical herb with long sawtooth leaves. It's a tropical herb. I don't have a tropical climate.
I'll give it a try.
That shit would die in my area within 2 weeks, guaranteed.
Well,
Which is why I don't grow a lot of shit that I grow down here, because I know for a fact that a lot of the stuff that I've tried to grow doesn't make it.
what about the tamarill tree?
The what?
Tamarill. Take the O out of tomato and put tamarill in there. Tree.
Which gives me emerald tree, which fucking apparently gives me a shitload of snakes.
Whatever.
No, that's what it showed up on here. The fuck is a tamarill tree? Is that a fucking tuber?
Oh, it actually, yeah, sort
It
of.
gave me a turmeric tree, but that turmeric doesn't make any sense because that's a fucking tuber. It might have been-
T-A-M instead of T-O-M. Tamarill. See what that?
Tamarillo?
Tamarillo, yeah.
God damn, when you got people that are fucking white as shit that don't know how to do Spanish names.
Well, no, I'm only 5% black.
Yeah, I'm like 40% European.
Well, I'm mostly a Dane Swede, so Vikings, so 68%. There you go.
Yeah, I'm also Italian in Europe. I'm a European, Italian, Spanish, and fucking part as well, again, Viking along the ancestral lines. But anyways,
Well, yeah,
you know,
most of them are
basically a
relatives.
fucking tomato. That's a cherry tomato looking thing.
It's a tomato tree.
Yeah.
You don't have to replant it. It comes back every year.
It's not in my area. Fucker, I guarantee that bitch would die.
I don't know. They grow in poor soil, vast climates, just like the sea buckhorn ones, which actually do that. And the jujubes, they actually grow in poor soil too, by the way.
Shit, again, I have the juju tree next door that we planted, or that we grew and planted for my neighbor. That's some bitch like 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
There's only been over about 4 or 5 years. But anyways,
There's 75% sugar.
At this point, we have reached our destination. I'm at 3.5 hours. I'm going to end it here. Appreciate anybody that has stayed this long to listen to myself and Drops rambling on about random gardening stuff. Hopefully, this was a bit informative for y'all. We will see you guys on Wednesday for Jason's Live. If not, we'll see you on Tuesday for Colin's Live. But once again, I appreciate everybody staying here this long. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe on the way out. And of course, Drops left like a fucking fart in the wind. But anyways, be well, be safe, folks. Grace, thank you for staying this long. Deb, if you're still here, appreciate it. Drops, thank you for coming well as well. Be well, be safe, and we will see you guys on the next one. It's going to be Fox at Outdoors signing off. Love you.